Hello, Durud and Shalom. I'm Monkey.
Hello, Duru, Shalom, and Hola.
Hola.
Hola,
How
Harvey.
is how are hola hola? Thank. How are things going? Do you think things are moving in the direction? Are you happier based on how things are going in the past 24 hours? What is
Oh,
your
man.
assessment?
I think, yeah, things are going right direction, but happy is, mission accomplished. Happy is when the
Mhm.
IRGC has no power, it's not in control anymore. Like all of this revenge or retaliatory strikes or, things that are not in the effort of the plan to completely eliminate them. It's just, like if the end goal isn't met, I'm not happy. So I can
Yeah.
say
But
I'm
what's it?
glad that it's ramping up.
But what is the updates in the past 24 hours that you makes you think that we're going in the right direction?
Well, last night there was more strikes. It seems that there are basically the messaging is that the strikes will dramatically increase. We also know that we were hosting an international event, and that hosting took some time away and attention from the commander in chief. He's not just the president; he's like the boss of the military. So him being more, not that he couldn't do it before, but more directly, like in the bunker, in the situation room, and overseeing a new battle strategy, a new plan on what's going to be done and where is probably going to be one of the main reasons that this is ramping up. That attention, that focus is something I appreciate.
All right, let's get for us all to get on the same page. And guys, we're gonna pay attention to the chat. We're gonna see what you guys think. Things seem to be heating up. There is a lot of assessment that suggests. Again, I don't want to speak in guarantees that maybe we're getting ready for something big. That's what the impressions are, but we'll see. And here's let's all get on the same page and see what's happening. And then once we get all the updates, then we'll also keep talking. In your, I want you guys to give your opinions about where you think we're heading, because we want to react to your comments as well.
President Trump is warning Iran that every United States soldier death will be avenged as he weighs the next steps following a 10th consecutive night of strikes against Iran military sites.
And here chronicling it all and getting inside is Trey Yinks. He is over in Tel Aviv. Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Another night of heavy U.S. strikes against Iran. This was the 10th consecutive night aimed at degrading Iran's ability to threaten the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command posted overnight about those strikes and their operations in the region, saying since early May, CENTCOM forces have helped facilitate the transit of approximately 900 commercial vessels and 450 million barrels of crude oil. They went on to say American forces remain postured and prepared to hold Iran accountable for unwarranted aggression towards civilian mariners seeking to freely and openly transit the strait. Early this morning, Iran attacked another tanker off the coast of Oman, forcing the crew to evacuate the vessel, according to maritime tracking groups. This does come after President Trump issued a new warning to the regime about killing American forces in the Middle East. The commander-in-chief said every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay for that killing many times over. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson was asked this week about the possibility of U.S. forces entering Iran. This was his response.
They will face the consequences. I believe there are people in those very areas, and they are not few in number, who are counting the moments until they can welcome them.
I don't know. You keep saying that, and you keep losing every time. Every time you talk like this, every time you do gundaguzi like this, you suffer the consequences right after. I don't know when you guys are going to learn your lesson.
Not few in number, who are counting the moments until they can welcome them.
The comments do come.
It's crazy how much. It's crazy how much these people, the regime supporters, keep brag about killing 4 American servicemen and women, not knowing exactly what the consequences are going to be, and it shows how much the lack of value they have for their own people, right? Because they have lost in the thousands their own terrorists and way more of their leaders. You got 4 Americans, and you got Americans and Israelis have killed so many of your top leaders. The fact that you are bragging about taking 4 of them while you lost so many, and Americans are so upset over losing 4, and then you're just so happy, and you don't even show. It's not just that you don't have enough compassion, you don't have zero compassion for the Iranian people. You don't even care about the people on your own side. Like, you don't care about your so-called soldiers, which are actually terrorists. You don't care about your leaders. You don't care about anything. You have so little value for human life. You have so little value for human life that not even if you take 4 Americans and they take 4,000 of you, you think it's a win, because it's not just the Americans that value their lives so much more. You also value taking their lives so much more than losing 4,000. That 4,000 is worth it for you. That 40,000 is worth it for you from your own side, as long as you could take even 1 from them. That's how much the lack of care, the lack of interest you have in preserving human life. Even your own terrorists are not valuable to you.
The moments until they can welcome them.
The comments do come as the Wall Street Journal reports that Iran moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain, an underground facility next to the Natanz nuclear site. The report, based on Israeli intelligence, is the latest to focus on the site. President Trump indicated last week he is considering new strikes against this facility. We're also tracking developments with the Houthis in Yemen, one of Iran's largest proxies in the region. The Houthis say they are implementing a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia, just another leg of this expanding conflict. Guys?
And Trey, that would be pretty devastating, because Saudi Arabia has rerouted their oil 8 million barrels a day through the Red Sea. So if you stop Saudi Arabia, that would really affect the price of oil and gas. Have they actually done it yet, or they just say they're going to do it?
They say that they're going to do it, and there are initial reports of some incidents off the coast of Yemen. When we look at the situation, though, the Houthis are trying to do exactly what their largest funder and supporter is doing, and that's the Iranian regime. They're trying to use the Bab al-Mandab Strait, this entrance into the Red Sea, as a choke point, specifically against Saudi Arabia. But it does raise questions about if they would try to target other international vessels passing through that critical waterway. But again, this is the Houthis trying to tie what leverage they have left to international shipping. And it does raise these questions about the possibility that the Iranians could try to use one of their largest proxy groups to put new pressure on these international shipping lanes. At this moment, we don't have indications that they've completely closed this critical entrance to the Red Sea, but it is certainly something to watch in the days ahead.
Trey, what do you know about the president of Lebanon meeting with Donald Trump today? I'm reading that Lebanon and Israel are continuing to hold these rare direct talks that's mediated by Washington. What can we expect today? Will there be a truce?
Yeah, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun will be at the White House today meeting with President Trump. And this is quite a historic moment, because it's an
by the way, Jew hater, I'm not going to highlight your comments against the monkey here. If you want to attack me, I will highlight them. If you attack my co-host or American servicemen and women or anybody else in the chat, you're wasting your money. I only highlight if you attack me personally.
Look, when you were talking earlier, I just
Mhm.
wanted to also highlight that the reason that they sacrifice themselves unwillingly is because their lives are worthless, right? American
Mhm.
lives are very valuable. They're so valuable that we will risk almost anything to rescue a soldier and do almost anything to make sure that their lives are respected in death. That end to a life is so valuable that it has, dire consequences and is a great loss. But because these people are worthless, well, dying to them means nothing. Why they call us life lovers? Well, that's because you don't love your life, because your life sucks as a jihadi who worships a pagan cube, the pagan cube of Hubal that the pagan Muhammad worshipped. And I know you're like wannabe Jews. You did the circumcision to men and women, so you could be even more Jewish. You pray 5 times a day instead of 3 because you're a wannabe Jew. You want to out-Jew the Jews. Well, you're never going to do that. They're always going to be better than you. That's why one tiny, tiny nation has you all shaking in your boots and crying we're oppressed.
Yeah.
As far as my service and me going overseas, I was already a veteran, and I guarantee you, I can handle a weapon way better than you.
Yeah. He was a keyboard warrior. Perfectly said.
Absolutely. But let's go on with the show. Let me not stop you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
With the Lebanese government as it relates to broader goals that both the Israelis and the Americans have. The first goal is to normalize ties between Lebanon and Israel, and the second to disarm Hezbollah, Iran's largest proxy in the region. And what the Trump administration has been able to do here with the help of the president and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is create this parallel diplomatic track. And actually, this week, they're going to be implementing these pilot zones in southern Lebanon, where the Israeli army is going to pull out of areas of southern Lebanon, and the Lebanese army is going to enter those areas and ensure that Hezbollah is not able to rebuild or reconstitute in these different towns in the.
Yeah, so Hezbollah is being defanged. How much the Houthi, like, if this escalates, we have to see, everybody's going to see how much the Islamic Republic is going to be able to escalate. Because everybody's worried that if we go all in, because right now, so many people are suggesting that something major is about to happen. So there's 2 things that is being observed. One, will this get escalated? Will United States and Israel soon go into an all-out attack again? Given that the Islamic Republic is continuing to misbehave, not honoring the ceasefire agreement that they had, and also killing even more Americans. Is the reaction going to be a major escalation? That's one. Everybody is observing that. 2, the main thing that everybody's observing, what the Islamic Republic is capable of to do in response after what suffered during the 40-day war. Will it be able to block the Strait of Hormuz? Will it be able to have any effect around the Bab el-Mandab? Will it be able to have any significant effect on Israel using Hezbollah? That's pretty much it. Am I missing anything? That's what we're observing. Is there anything else that we're trying to observe? Like it once this escalates, how much can they? Yeah, that's actually the most major one. I forgot the most major one. How much of the infrastructure, especially oil infrastructure and water desalination infrastructure of the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf, can they damage? These are 4 areas: Hezbollah on Israel, Houthis on Bab el-Mandab, closing the Strait of Hormuz, destruction of energy infrastructure and water desalination and power plants of the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. These are the 4 areas where everybody's going to observe to see whether the Islamic Republic will be able to have a strong response or nothing at all, or basically something weak. What do you think? Am I missing anything?
I had a question about the Houthis, because this is an unconfirmed report, but an open source report of there being other forces that are like trying to take on the Houthis, and their local forces, because it is somewhat known that the Houthi rule is very abusive. They are heavily tax everyone there by force. They're very abusive to all communities there, and the people are getting fed up with their rule. Or the places that they control, and there are people rising against them. Now, I saw a group through open source channel that had made videos like, we're going to go against you, but I don't have any idea of the size of this force. Is this is this a real force? I just saw the announcement that some people are rising up to oppose them.
Yeah, so there's, I don't know if there's any new ones, but the main 2 ones that we have have been there for a while is the official government of Yemen, recognized by the international community and also Saudi Arabia. They're backed by Saudi Arabia, so that's one. but we also have the southern separatist groups that are backed by the UAE. So those are the main groups that you could support against the Houthis. With regards to how capable they are, I have to double check that. I mean, they are capable enough for the Houthis not having to be able to completely beat them. And I do think that supporting them, preferably one of them, is the best option that we have, other than aerial bombardment, to keep the Houthis busy.
Now, I sent you on Telegram a clip from open source intel. These people call themselves the Free Yemen Movement. These are the guys that I say I don't even know where they fit in all this. And they could be just like smoke and mirrors. Now, I warn you, they're very loud. I don't know what it is about Yemen, but every time they make an announcement, it is very loud. You got to like check with volume on that one.
Okay, I don't even know if I want to. Oh my God,
You may not even want to hear it because it's just a lot of yelling, and it might be yelling the same thing they said there.
Okay, so I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna play it while it's not showing on the screen. Hold on, let me see. Yelling. Go on. Yelling.
I seen the video. All they do is stand there. They don't do anything violent.
Okay, loud noises. Let's just read the caption. It's saying a new armed faction, the Free Yemen Movement, has declared an uprising against the Houthis from inside Sana'a. Oh, okay. So this is like internal, whether the Houthis are in control. We announced an armed so this is new then, because I don't know how big they are, but the other two groups are in the territory so Houthis have their own area in Yemen, and the official government has their own area, and the southern separatists have their own area, which is, guess where? The south, right? So,
okay.
But these people are an uprising within the area that the Houthis are controlling. I don't know how big they are. So we announced an armed uprising against the Houthis movement from within Sana'a due to the crimes committed by Iran and the Houthis. This uprising comes in response to the Houthis' starvation, looting, theft, and killing of Yemenis, as well as their violation of Yemen sovereignty and implementation of Iranian directives. So this seems like to be a popular uprising against the Houthis in Yemen. That's what's happening there.
I looked at their weaponry. They're like, sort of new AKs and NK 9K 113 Cornet like rockets. They seem kind of new, but what it's saying is these are man portable and tripod fired rockets that are effective against tanks and fortifications, and it's a standard heavy weapon in their arsenals of Yemen, often captured or smuggled. And it's very much of the area. This doesn't seem to be like it might have been forces. It may be some of the Houthis breaking off, or some of them got captured and overthrown.
I think these are just the people that are tired of living in a shithole.
Captured and overthrown, then, right? Maybe they saw a squad, took their stuff, and say, we're just gonna keep just capturing their stuff and taking them out. It could be possible because you're very cruel people.
Yeah. No, the Houthis are so bad to their own people. Here, I could let me see. I could tell you really quickly here. I have the answer. Okay, the main opposition to the Houthis is the Presidential Leadership Council, the PLC coalition, a Saudi-backed alliance of diverse military units holding most of Yemen's territory. However, deep internal divisions, lack of unified command, and Houthi control over major population centers severely restrict the opposition combat effectiveness. Okay, but what about the southern separatists and also internal uprisings against the Houthis as well? So there's also that. I'll check that for you as well.
As far as I know, the South was backed by UAE, right?
Yeah, UAE. Which is also interesting because it shows that the Saudis and the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf do not have a united strategy against the Islamic Republic. Everybody is just doing their own thing. So the Southern separatists briefly expanded their domain before a Saudi-backed campaign forced the STC, right? Basically that's the Southern separatists. So the former dissolution. Oh, okay. So the Southern separatists are over. The Saudis bombed them and stuff, right? Though strong pro-independence sentiment still destabilizes the South. So interesting, because the Saudis bombed the UAE-backed group and forced them to dissolve. Meanwhile, internal resistance to the Houthis manifests through heavily armed tribal uprisings in the eastern governorates and widespread public discontent that the Houthis ruthlessly suppress through mass arrest. So there's that.
Like, as far as I know, they're incredibly cruel to the local population and just pretty
Oh
much
my God,
thieves.
Yes, they're so brutal. They're monsters. But anyway, guys, I see the super chats. I will respond to them soon. But let's just get updated on what's happening first.
In the southern part of the country. And so it's an initial program. But again, this meeting at the White House and the fact that they're already starting to implement the framework that was reached last month, it's an indication that there is some progress being made to try and push Hezbollah out of southern Lebanon.
So, Trey, every time Israel, they've tried to do similar talks before. And every time the talks begin, Hezbollah fires some off at Israel, and then Israel has to respond. And the moment that happens, then the talks are delayed. Is there any way, or are they talking about ways to counteract that?
Certainly, and this is a concern for negotiators because Iran and its largest proxy have often tried to derail negotiations. But what they're doing here is undercutting Hezbollah and the Iranian regime by having this parallel track. And so you still do have Hezbollah fighters in southern Lebanon, also in southern Beirut, in the Dakhya neighborhood. They have missiles, rockets, and drones that they have used to target Israeli forces. But as part of this pilot program, what they're trying to do is transfer the responsibility from Israel to the Lebanese government. And it's going to take some time. It's not going to be a clean process. But the pilot program, if successful, could be something that would move forward, not just in Lebanon, but possibly even in places like Gaza, that would try to transfer that responsibility and ensure that Hezbollah doesn't have the ability to threaten U.S. ally Israel or possibly even U.S. forces in the region.
All right, Trey, thanks so much. We'll check in with you again next hour.
How successful, this is President Trump meeting with the Lebanese president, Joseph Aoun. How do you have hopes that this is going to be successful? Because everybody keeps reminding us that the Lebanese, because Lebanese army, we all know, is not as strong as the Hezbollah army. But again, even if this works, whether this works out or not, this has been a major win for Israel. But do you think the Lebanese army will have enough support from the Americans to be able to make this happen? Disarm maybe Hezbollah?
A short while ago, like I think it was like a week or so ago, we started looking at the numbers that there is support for Hezbollah, that there is a desire for like a normalization. And I think they might see this as an opportunity, the Lebanese government in itself, to rise, to have a bigger presence on the world stage, gain more respect, have a better standing. They probably seeing when the Iraqi prime minister came over here, the welcome he got, the progress he's making against the corruption in his state, in Iraq. So if I am him and I'm saying, wow, there was this much corruption in Iraq, maybe that corruption is here, maybe that is stealing resources from my cabinet, from my constituents. Maybe if we can get the right intelligence, we start going after these elected officials that are basically IRGC stooges. And what we're going to find is that our government has been infiltrated. And from there, we start knocking down where the police have been infiltrated and where the military have been infiltrated. If I am him, I am thinking, I want to do what Iraq just did, get my money back and get control of my nation back. Do you see where I'm going with it? Like, do you see that as a possibility of what's going on here?
Yeah, but can I do it? Like, how can I do it? Like, the problem is that the level of support I'm getting is not nearly as much as the level of support as the Hezbollah army is getting from the Islamic Republic. So
Well, corruption could be taken away from the budget. America could provide better weapons. Israel could provide better intelligence. That could have been exactly what happened in Iraq.
yes.
So what do we see a mirror of that? If the Israelis are providing the kind of intelligence that lets this guy go after all the IRGC stooges in his ministry, start taking their money, start taking the resources, and start wiping them out from top to bottom. Because a lot of the things that happen is if you have a lot of Hezbollah infiltrated into your military at the bottom, but you don't take care of the top where those people are getting appointed, you're gonna have a problem. So this is why I say this might be a mirror of what happened in Iraq. When in Iraq, I almost guarantee you that it was the U.S. Military and the Mossad intelligence that united in taking down a lot of those networks. What if you have a mirror of that here? And what if that is the long-term play? Like that would be my guess. I'm just like, let's see the pattern. If that's what happened here.
No. So that has been the plan. That for sure, you're completely right. That has been the plan. It just requires a lot of support. It requires a lot of American involvement and financial support and military support and equipment support and training support and strategical guidance support to beat, because the Hezbollah is getting all of that support from the Islamic Republic. And right now, like for example, a Hezbollah fighter gets paid significantly more than an average soldier in the Lebanese army. So Hezbollah it's a lot easier for Hezbollah to recruit. So Iran's oil and gas money is stolen from the Iranian people, so exactly for this, to create a Hezbollah army in Lebanon is very important. Like, it's very important for the Islamic Republic not to lose Lebanon. Like so much relies on the Islamic Republic not losing Lebanon. So they're willing to spend a lot of their oil and gas money on this. And to be able to push back against that, United States needs to commit into supporting the Lebanese army in a more significant way. Yeah.
Okay, I understand all that, but hear me out. I'm not taking away from anything you're saying right now. Hear me out. Okay. Yes, but what if what's happening is that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to restructure the payments. How do you restructure the payments? First thing you got to do is recapture all that stolen money. Because if you recapture all that stolen money, you could put it back into paying these people a decent wage. And there is a point at which, yes, you're getting a lot of money paid, but you're also taking a lot of risk. And there comes a balance point where if I can get enough money to live right, am I going to risk everything for a little bit more? Once you reach that tipping point and it tips more to what I'd rather have a decent, honest pay from my government for doing the right thing, because it might be more from Hezbollah, but it's not enough more for me to risk it. Right now, that tipping point isn't here because these soldiers are not making a living wage that makes it easy to reject the risk. Because yes, I have no doubt that Hezbollah gets well paid, but they also have a lot of risk. And once the point is reached where the risk is not worth it and you're being well paid as a soldier, I mean, their support goes way down, right? And you start looking at the guy who has too much money, because that's the guy that's getting money from both sides. It becomes a little easier to spot the bad guys. And as far as the top of the government, they'll want to recover that money. Do you remember those golden bikinis, those golden G-strings? You want to take that stuff away from the bad guys and put it back into your government. I don't know what other type of resources. If they have oil, if they have mineral, I don't know what kind of resources there is in Lebanon, but they would want to return control of that to the central government, which is what Iraq did. And it gives them a lot of money to work with. If you could pay your police so much more because you're not losing to fraud, oh my God, it could be so good.
Right. No, I agree with that for sure. Okay, this is President Trump welcoming President Aoun from Lebanon. Look at this. Look at this. Jew hater in the chat. This is you losing for so
losing
many
support
decades.
everywhere.
Yes, look at this. For so many decades. This is what losing look like. Cope harder, Jew hater in the chat. For so many years, the Islamic Republic invested for decades, invested in basically controlling Lebanon, and like that, you're losing it. Look at this. This is the what the Lebanese people have voted for. This is what the Lebanese people would choose. They want.
He's
they want
looking
a
at the
normal
camera
relationship.
and
They want
waving like,
a-
look at
they want a-
me.
Yeah, they want a normal relationship with the United States. They want a normal relationship with Israel. They're tired of Hezbollah. They're tired of the Islamic Republic. They're tired of your warmongering, terroristic behavior, and they're done with it. And this is the result of years of you investing and wasting both your resources and your blood. And this is the final result. America always wins. And anything you say in response to that is just coping.
Won't this lead to kind of like an Abraham Accords between Lebanon and Israel? Like there could be a normalization.
I can't hear anything. But honestly, you have to be delusional. You have to be delusional or coping extra hard when you think you're winning this. You lost Assad. You lost Syria. You're losing Iraq. You're losing Lebanon. You're losing everything. Your Shia empire is crumbling down in front of your eyes. They're like, no, the American empire is crumbling down. Sure.
I got a question. Is this on Twitter? Like, is there any chance that what the Trump president says is written above?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Nope. Here. Welcome
Nope.
to-
Okay.
no,
Worth
no.
a check, though.
That's a good point. That was a good check. That was a good check. Let me see what how there's his guys. By the way, thank you for all the super chats. We'll get to them soon. But let me see. This is getting a lot of attention.
I went over this yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay, so this is worth seeing. Which is
U.S. forces striking Iran for the 10th consecutive night after President Trump vowed vengeance against the terror regime following the deaths of 4 American troops this past weekend. The president posting on Truth Social, quote, "Every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay for that killing many times over." Here's the president.
We feel very badly, but you know, those great people, those great patriots are out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. We hit them very hard again tonight, and we did that in honor of the probably 3. It's probably 3 as opposed to 2 great patriots.
But some Democrats argue that airstrikes won't finish the job.
what is this? Like, what's Fox News has turning into? There's a poop emoji. He's wearing a shirt. Is this the new way the Fox News is doing it? Are they turning into podcasters?
This
Like,
is more like a podcast. He's a comedian.
Okay. So mainstream media is trying to turn like copy alternative media now. Okay.
Hey, the alternative view get more views.
Yeah. Okay.
But some Democrats argue that airstrikes won't finish the job.
The Iranians, give them credit. They know about enriched uranium. They know about nuclear. They have sent great negotiators. But we're not going to, I do not believe anyone thinks that we're going to bomb Iran into submission.
All right. So, Dana, is it a mistake, a misconception that other countries like Iran, their leaders, hold the same value over human life that we do? So, they're fine. You can bomb us to hell and back, but they know that we aren't like that.
They'll kill their own people.
Yeah,
They did. They killed 40,000 of them in January. So I think the response to killing Americans,
Way more than 40,000.
it'll be clear that this is not business as usual. They gave them a chance with the memorandum of understanding that the Iranians balked at. And now you have a decisive striking back. I do believe it would be helpful to have a briefing from Secretary Hegseth and General Kane. They had, when there was kinetic action before, they had done these like once a week, and it was very helpful. And if I were them, I would do it tomorrow before they testify in front of Congress, because then it becomes a circus. So if they have their own briefing at 8:30 a.m. like they had been doing, at least they can get on the record before being in front of members of Congress who are just going to try to make it about themselves. They have to go tomorrow for the budget. And then that way you could have the secretary, he might say, I answered that this morning. Let's talk about the budget, however you would want to do it. But what that would also do is to provide the president an opportunity for us to hear from the Department of Defense, like, how is this going to go? And to answer Mark Warner, I don't expect details, but when Mark Warner is out there saying that nobody expects that we're going to bomb them into submission, okay, well, I don't know. I would love to hear, like, what is the strategy then?
Yeah.
Because the key is Strait of Hormuz. I believe that the nuclear weapon thing will be off the table. Like they're not allowed to have.
Okay, I don't think their analysis is deep enough for us to take into account. I think it's surface level. So I'm going to go
The
to
one the one that goes after her is way better because she doesn't really no actually after that. The guy that's a very, very extremely short hair.
This guy.
That guy. That guy's way better on the analysis. Look,
Okay,
I'm
let's
not
just
saying I
focus on-
agree with him though.
Okay, because that
Like I didn't
that
agree with him, but he had
analysis,
better
like,
analysis.
that first analysis by that woman is like, you just learned about all of these yesterday, didn't you? Like,
New name of this operation.
Harold, what do you think the response might entail? I hate asking speculative questions like that, but
So
I
I
did.
joined with Charlie. My prayers and condolences to the Fian family and the Gonzalez family. They represent, these are 19 and 25-year-old people. That's what our military is made up of. And certainly all of us pray for their families. Greg, I think your question begs an answer from, but before you have the answer, you have to have a strategy or an objective, and then you can develop a strategy as to what you do. We have gone from, remember, February 27th, the Straits of Hormuz were open. Our objective was to eliminate the Iranians' ability to develop a nuclear weapon and to, if not all, diminish, if not altogether, to eliminate their ballistic missile capacity. It evolved. It evolved because I differ with my friend Charlie, I differ with you. I think that the terms of this battle have changed since February 28th. We no longer talk as much about the nuclear piece, and I hope that Dana's right that we will take this off the table. But the Iranians have taken control of the narrative because they have now shown what many presidents before feared, that if indeed we did attack the Iranians, that they would weaponize the Straits of Hormuz, which they have done. The Iranians have also suggested that the Houthis, another proxy of theirs, is going to begin controlling the Suez Canal, where you have another 10 to 15% of the world's commerce goes through there. So the answer, we have to figure out what.
wait, the Suez Canal. When did they threaten
I
that?
think they're
is going
talking about
to
like
begin.
bombing it with rockets, like they did. They did bomb a few rockets up there. I think there's some intelligence towards that because they keep repeating that. And like one time, maybe wrong, 2 times coincidence, but I've heard it like a couple of times. So I don't like if you hold the strait at the bottom, you're still controlling it. Like even if you go through the top, you have to go out the bottom.
Which is Bab al-Mandeb.
Yeah, I understand that. But if you hold
Yeah,
Bab
no, I was just
al-Mandeb,
asking. Yeah, no, sorry. go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. You were talking to AI. My apologies.
Yes. Sorry. No, go on. Continue. Finish your thing. Sorry.
I think that they're talking about maybe some strikes up there, and I think they're also referring to any control of either one of those 2 points as if it's the same thing. Like they're seeing Bab al-Mandeb as like the exit of the Suez Canal. You understand what I'm saying?
So here's, let me check. The Islamic Republic directly threatens the Bab al-Mandeb Strait using its Houthi proxies in Yemen while avoiding direct attacks on Egyptian sovereign territory around the Suez Canal. However, blocking Bab al-Mandeb cuts off access to the Red Sea, effectively shutting down the trade through the Suez Canal. I still think they're making a mistake. Because I haven't seen any narrative for this. But has there been any direct threats from the Islamic Republic talking about the Suez Canal, or mostly just Bab al-Mandeb? That's what I'm saying. I think they're making.
I think that's an American thing because Americans never heard of Bab al-Mandeb. The Suez Canal has been ingrained into our brains for decades. If you say Bab al-Mandeb, we'll say, what the hell is that? You say Suez Canal, we'll be like, oh, I know where that is.
Yeah, so official declarations from the Islamic Republic focus on Bab al-Mandeb. Yeah, so I think that these are all wrong. The Islamic Republic avoids direct threats against the Suez Canal to prevent a confrontation with Egypt, focusing its official threats on Bab al-Mandeb and the Persian Gulf instead. Okay, so these people are getting it wrong, I think, unless I'm missing something.
No, they're getting it exactly right for Americans.
Yeah, okay, but technically it's wrong in the way that, like, okay, I understand from a You're right. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay, but from a purely like from a technical perspective, this is not actually accurate because I watch Islamic Republic content, and they don't mention the Suez Canal. I mean, unless I missed anything here.
28th. We no longer talk as much about the nuclear piece, and I hope that Dana's right that we will take this off the table. But the Iranians have taken control of the narrative because they have now shown what many presidents before feared, that if indeed we did attack the Iranians, that they would weaponize the Straits of Hormuz, which they have done. The Iranians have also suggested that the Houthis, another proxy of theirs, is going to begin controlling the Suez Canal, where you have another 50.
Nope. Okay, I don't care about what the intentions are with the Americans. That is absolutely wrong. They haven't done that. That statement is wrong. So whatever his
Look,
intentions
it's like you got to know who your audience is. If you're talking to Americans, you have to know who your audience is. They know who their audience is. They know whenever they say Baba Mendez, there's 50 comments in the chat saying, "What the hell is Baba Mendez?"
I got that. I know. I
You
mean,
are
I don't know,
correct,
but-
though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
10 to 15% of the world's commerce goes through there. So the
Yep.
answer, we
That's Baba Mendez.
have to figure out what it is we want. If we want the Straits of Hormuz open, then I think, our attacks, the continued military operation to try to affect the terms of negotiation, we have to do. Mark Warner is right. Bombing alone may not work. We talked about this last week, and Jesse talked about it too. We all did. Do we have to put troops on the ground? I don't know how you reassert control to ensure the waters are navigable. I don't want to do this. This is not my preferred action, but when you have no allies going into this, but the Israelis, and they are important allies, we're going to be the ones that have to put the troops on the ground if we want the Straits open. Why? Because it is clear to me, as much as the president and my friend Secretary Bessent may say, we do not, nor have we ever controlled the Straits of Hormuz. They do. Finally, Mr. President, you don't need to tell the world.
Nobody should be able to control the Strait of Hormuz. Not a single person should be. It's a free water international waterway. Nobody should be able to control the Strait of Hormuz. It should be free for all.
That if 2 Americans are killed and one's missing, or 3 are killed and 1 is missing, that you're going to direct the Secretary of War and the Joint Chiefs of Staff to respond. That's your job. That's what we'd hope you'd be doing. And
by the way, that's also what President Trump said. President Trump directly said nobody should be able to control the Strait of Hormuz.
Said on this show many times, please stop talking so much. There's no need to tell them everything we're doing, all that you're thinking, and when you're going to do it. Because if you choose not to do it, and you have on occasion, it affects your.
Do you want to interject here? Do you want to say something?
Yes, like he's speaking truth, because sometimes you talk too much shit, and you should just do things. You don't need to talk so much about it. You don't need to talk so much about revenge. Go do it. You don't need to talk so much about what you're going to take over, what you're going to do. Just go do it, because if you just do these things, it's not a problem. If you say it and then you don't do it, then it's a problem. That's one thing. 2, like, I do like the MOU, because the MOU gave us the legal framework to take the oil under escrow and then give them nothing. So, like, one of the things that the MOU accomplished that people underestimate is as soon as they signed it, we had the legal framework to take their money. Like, we can legally, right now, everything we confiscate from them, because they decide to keep firing rockets, we could put it in an escrow account. That's already money that we can give into a transitional government. Like, the legal framework, the legal trap that they fell in when they signed that thing, because they broke the deal, and we already have the structural financial work. Before we did the MOU, what did we do? We went to Congress and we started work on the escrow accounts. Now we have the escrow accounts. Now we can confiscate that money. If we go to Carg Island and we liberate that 33 million gallons of oil in there and take it, we could put that into that escrow account. If we take the other island that has oil, and anything we take, we could put it into that escrow account for the transitional government. Like, we already made a legal framework through the MOU that people are underestimating that move. They're not understanding that what we're doing. Like, look, I understand why a lot of people don't like sending realtors to make a peace deal with Durkas. It has its bad side. It has its good side, which is that escrow account, that legal framework, so that we could keep all their shit and not even have to give them the hay for the hay dart or the corn for the popcorn, right? But that legal framework is important, because that's the money you got to give to the transitional government, and that step has been taken. I think that's important. But all this talking, like, it's wearing me down. I want us to do more and talk less. I do agree with him on that.
Yeah. We should go to President Trump because he has been in his meeting with the president of Lebanon. There has been videos are coming out right now. So let's listen to the people are asking a lot of questions. There's a lot of talk about Lebanon. So let's listen to what's happening now.
What is your level of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front?
We'll have to see what happens. So far, it hasn't happened, might happen. But we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. It was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
What do you think about that's interesting? We were just talking the first video I played from. We were just analyzing this, and right now President Trump is speaking. The first video that came out was this one. That's quite a coincidence.
Well, one thing, there is one person that can bypass. That's Saudi Arabia, right? They got a pipe. It's not as thick as having ships go through, but they do have a pipe. So that lends credence to the argument, well, they're not taking over the Suez Canal. They're taking care of over Bab al-Mandeb. But for anyone coming from the north trying to get through, it's effectively closed. So that's the problem with that. As he says, we have dealt with them before. We've dealt with them many times. We'll probably do it again because they have tried to close the strait for the last, 10 years at least. They've been trying to do that unsuccessfully. So I'm sure they'll try again and fail again. Well, I'm not even sure they'll try again because as the South is removed from their area of operation through strikes, they would have less money to work with. I don't know through the North what they could trade for cash to give the Houthis, how they even gave the money to them. That's probably all dark money. But I think the money is drying up, making it Houthis are now talking. For a long time, they've been just talking, doing very little. It all seems to be like performative. Yep. There's a lot of performative things being done to scare the market. There may be through 2 or 3 pop-ups, but I don't think they're gonna launch a barrage of drones. I don't think they're gonna launch a barrage of missiles. So we have to look at what can they literally do. How much weapons do they literally have? That's what we have to look at. I don't think it's that much.
They did manage to resist against Saudi Arabia for 10-year war. So that was like that's something.
That says more about Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's true. But when it comes to launching capabilities, with drones and missiles, a lot of people think it's because the 40-day war depleted significantly how much the Islamic Republic can support the Houthis. But we'll see. But guys, for what again, a quick reminder for people. Okay, so given that as the Strait of Hormuz is becoming unreliable for Saudi oil to make it out, there's an east-west pipeline that goes right through Saudi Arabia here that brings the oil from the Persian Gulf of Saudi Arabia and also the other oil that they have to the Red Sea, right? So to the Red Sea, this pipeline has like around 7 million barrels per day capacity. It's not as much as the Strait of Hormuz, obviously, but it's like it's very important alternative for Saudi Arabia. And then once it makes it to the Red Sea, it could go either north to the Suez Canal and then make its way to Europe, or it could make its way down to the Bab al-Mandeb and mostly like go to the east. This is the path you need to take to go to China, right? So China is a big customer, and if you don't have this, then you can't sell your oil to China. So the Houthis are obviously here in Yemen, and they're closest to the Bab al-Mandeb, and that's what the Islamic Republic relies on to try to close Bab al-Mandeb to not get the oil out, right? And if you want to just go north to the Suez Canal, you have to just basically go all around Africa, or maybe go all, I don't know, the path to China is like so much higher, like it's like crazy high, like it's not even, it's crazy, right? Like the cost will increase astronomically.
I think this has a lot of significance because of new oil pipes that are coming through. A little while ago, we looked at some of the pipes that were coming through. Saudi Arabia wanted to do a shift in 2030 to a different type of economy. I think it has an opportunity to become an alternative route for oil, and they could just start, if they make a few pipes to make it worth it, to make the amount of oil that you could get through worth it. They could also start becoming like a place where you could just put your oil in on one side of Saudi Arabia, take it out at the Red Sea, and skip over both straits. And all you have to do is go north to the Suez. Like that would work if they could start working better with the United Arab Emirates. It could work if they started working with the Qataris. And I know Iraq has its own pipe plans, but like if they could work their shit out to work better together and see that, look, we have too many straight problems. If we just make the straight pipe and we get our situation, our political situation straight, we don't even have to deal with these people. We should just come together instead of fighting, because we used to be homies. I think they used to be homies, and then things got sour, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, they were never homies with Qatar, but Saudi Arabia and UAE used to be homies for sure. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, and Qatar might just, if they have oil, they must just do it. Like, look, I just want to use your service to get my oil across.
Qatar has mostly gas than oil.
Then gas pipe is different. That's a different tech, right?
Yeah,
that's probably a different tech.
They need to liquefy that and put it in ships and stuff. That's a whole other thing. But anyways, let's go back to President Trump. And guys, we get back to your comments at some point, I think. But let me, because this is urgent. President Trump is like, a lot of videos are coming out right now.
So if we left right now, it would take Iran 20, 25 years to rebuild. Okay? And we're not finished at all. But if we left right now, it would take them a long time, years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. So if we left right now.
Yeah, it would take years if it's under the Islamic Republic. If it goes under Pahlavi, the Iranian people will build really fast if their economy becomes liberated. Do you agree with that?
I think he's talking about their military.
Yeah, but whatever, like in general, the Iranian people will be able to rebuild very, very fast if we were under Pahlavi, if our economy gets liberated. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree with that statement, but I think the context here that we're talking about is war.
I'm not disagreeing with President Trump.
Wait, adding to it. Finish.
Yeah. But because
I think that because the context is war.
But yeah, go on. Sorry.
Okay, when I say okay, I won't use that word. What I'm trying to say is, because the context that they're talking about here is war, these are probably questions about the war. They're going to ignore that these people are having a historical deal, because that's what the press does. The press is just like that. They jump into the most spicy topic. So they're going to be talking about the war. So they're probably asking about Iran capabilities, and what Trump is probably talking about is, are we leaving? Are we staying? Is like, we could leave right now and it will take them 25 years to build up the military like it was. Number one, I don't think so. I think they could do a lot of damage before they get to 25 years. I think they could rebuild a lot of missiles. Like, they wouldn't be up to where it was, but they don't need to be up to where it was for it to be a problem. So he's being like very cagey here, very ambiguous about what he means to get back up to where in 25 years. They could do a lot of damage. I do think we should do a lot more when we leave, but I don't like this leaving language. We should leave when they're gone. Not giving them a chance to get back up to where they were 25. That would mean that they're still in charge. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to leave them in charge. Yes. That's why I would I like your plan under Pahlavi. That would be great. We could leave and it could be rebuilt in 10 years, probably. Like, it could rebuild new.
What would you say to people who's saying, "Oh, don't worry, monkey. This is just 5D chess. This is just gameplay. He has to say that. Obviously, he's going to stay until the regime is fallen." What would you say to that?
I would say I got to work with what I'm looking at. That is a possibility, but possibilities are infinite. If I'm going to honestly look at what he's saying and make an assessment, that's my assessment. That's like, I would say he's talking about the war. I don't like the idea of leaving. I like the idea of finishing the job, then leaving. and I understand that this is if it is 5D chess, the part of it that's 5D chess is testing the water to see what the replies are on the American side, because saying this kind of thing is going to elicit a response from Americans, and he's going to look within America. What's the response to if we left right now? I'm guessing most of the responses are going to be finish the job, and what they're going to say. I can already predict what they're going to say in a lot of these comments is all these soldiers, these 16, 17, 18 dead, you don't just leave it so they can come back 25 years later. For them, you finish the job. For the, what is it now, 300 and, oh, let me see, I have the chart around here somewhere. 300 and now it will be 318, 19 people that these people have killed all over the Persian Gulf. In all these countries, in Iraq, in Israel, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, the West Bank, Kuwait, Syria, Bahrain, Lebanon, Jordan, all those people that died, though, and United States soldiers, those 318 people dead, for them, you finish the job. The 10,000 injured, for them, you finish the job. Like, I understand that you want to be cagey about the language. You want to make them think we're leaving, right? If I want to steel man the 64D Jenga position. Yeah, that could be it. But my position is still finish the job.
Yep. I really appreciate that you keep, because Americans are always accused of just only being America-centric and not considering other people of other countries. And I think it's a wrong stereotype. That's not at all true. And I think you always show that. You always like, oh, look at the people dying in Bahrain. Look at the people dying in Lebanon. Look at the people dying in Iraq. And you keep bringing attention to other people. And I just want to say I appreciate that you do that. And thank you. That's very nice.
I would hope that all those governments value or begin to value their citizens and the loss and injuries of their citizens as much as we value ours, because it would lead to that goal of finishing the job.
Or at least as much as you value theirs, right? Like that's.
I mean, yeah, they're brothers in arms.
No, it's interesting because they don't even value it at the level that you value them. You know what I mean? So not even at that level.
Look, I'm sure that some of those Bahraini officials are upset at some of those deaths. Maybe they knew some of those people, some of those injuries. You never know when your friends of son or daughter is involved in all this. Well, there is a lot of rhetoric about the culture, but sooner or later it starts to hit home. Like I know the culture that was pushed on Iranians, and I know a lot of Iranians that have very good hearts. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, sitting right next to me right now. So I know there's good hearts out there that come from the Middle East, and I know that they're everywhere. They're in Saudi Arabia, they're in Bahrain, they're in all these places, and they must be feeling these deaths. These deaths must hit close to home somewhere, and even these injuries, because some of these injuries can be life-changing. Some of these injuries can take away your capacity to work, your capacity to move about freely, to do many things. So it is something that should be taken into account.
Yes. Let's now listen. Let's go through, Monkey. How about this? How about we go through President Trump's statements because they're coming out fast, right? And they're big news right now. How about we do some quick commentary on each one of them so we could go through them? Good plan?
Yeah, you go, I go, and we go to the next one.
Okay.
Mr. President, it's an honor having you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you
I've
very
been
much.
looking forward to this visit for a long time.
Thank you very
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
That's a very nice thing. See, he knows how to get to me. He knows. He can have anything. Now he can have anything, Mr. President.
Oh my God. First of all, that was very respect. That was a huge respect. That was a nice statement. And President Trump, great response. Very funny. Love the response. Also, third comment, holy crap. We guys, the axis of resistance, Jew hater in the chat. all the people who have been trying to make Lebanon the proxy of the Islamic Republic. You now have a president in Lebanon that openly in front of cameras is saying that President Trump is a great president and he was always looking forward to meeting him. This must hurt bad. Cope harder. Go on, Monkey.
Oh, you were saying, well, they need more. I mean, they need more help. What did he just say? You can have whatever you want. He's like, remember, you were worried? Hey, there you go. Like treating them with respect and friendship and publicly is going to be something that's very different for him. Why? Because we have these IRGC two-faced snakes that behind closed doors say, yeah, we're going to meet, it's going to be great. But then when they go out to the public, no, I never said that. And so that they if you're gonna zipper dive me in public. We could take turns, right? If we're gonna compliment each other, let's compliment each other in person. Let's do it publicly. Let's not have these things where you're super nice to me in private, I'm super nice to you in private. We come to these deals and you tell everybody they're crazy. I didn't say that. So I like that. I respect that. And hey, that you can have anything you want. That probably means weapons. That probably means intelligence. That probably means Hezbollah is screwed.
Yeah, guys, this is very historic. This is, what we're experiencing right now is the beginning of something resembling the fall of the Berlin Wall. United States won against the communist empire, and eventually we saw that crumbling down. This is something you're witnessing this in real time, and not the whole Shia Islamic Sunni empire, the pan-Arabist, the pan-Sunni, the pan-Shia Middle Eastern block of anti-imperialism, anti-Zionism resistance movement. This you're witnessing fall of a burning wall moment right now in history. That's what you're witnessing. So this will be written in history books. So let's see what this one is.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. What, you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and
You
kill
don't know
Americans.
what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they get.
Well, that's the thing, though. We don't. But we need to see that in front of. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, we need to. You should. Hopefully, you recorded them and you could play it for us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that would be my thing. Like if you want to make a deal, stop calling me. This is like I go back to what I said before. He should stop taking the calls and say it publicly, because we're not gonna have a deal until you admit it publicly. So you have to say it publicly. Stop calling. I'm blocking you on WhatsApp. I'm blocking you on the phone. I'm blocking you on Hinge, on Tinder, on Grindr. You're blocked everywhere. All right. I'm not taking your calls until you say it publicly. Tell everyone in your land you want a deal. Tell everyone in your land that there's a way out. Tell everyone in your land. Then maybe we'll talk about it, and I still might not believe you.
I actually like this plan in the chat. Trump live stream. Let's go. Yep. Just get them on StreamYard. They're like, we're gonna do this live. We'll do it live. Okay. Well,
just to be clear, I don't think the White House is on all those platforms.
Yeah. We could set it up for you, President Trump. We could set up the live stream. We could just make them talk live.
I have the best grinder profile. Everyone wants to grind.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. What the hell? I can't. Oh, wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah. You know what, Monkey? They should give them the Hitler treatment, because at the end of World War II, apparently the Americans told Hitler that, we're not talking to you. We're just going to put our message out there, and you could put your message out there for the world. Like, they completely cut all communication with Hitler, and there was no negotiation, nothing. And you're like, we either meet you with you in the battlefield, or if you have any, we'll whatever you need to know, we'll put out in the world. And if you want to tell us anything, you could just put it out in the world. So that was what the Americans were doing to Hitler at the very end. So they should do that.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
you know
still
something that I
possible,
don't know? Do you know something I don't know?
Well, tell us.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in even.
So Mr. President,
Ooh, yes. No interest, meaning that we're gonna go. Something else needs to happen, and I don't think what President Trump wants they're willing to give. So we're gonna go for boom booms.
I think meaningful, but might be you got to tell the people. Who knows what meaningful is in this sense? Like, what if meaningful means you got to say it with meaning from the heart to your people too? I hope this is a dream scenario, right? But I hope meaningful means you got to say it to your people, because it doesn't mean anything to tell me in private one thing and then go tell your people something else. When you tell your people, then you're publicly putting your neck on the line. Now, I know they had this big interview and it was kind of wild, but it doesn't get to the level of let's make a deal, right? They may be setting the landscape for that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen for a long time. So I think the bombings will continue until morale improves.
It doesn't happen for a good reason. Like, I'm hoping that a lot of people need to understand this, right? What President Trump wants the Islamic Republic to come out and say what they're saying privately, publicly. And you might think that's not a big deal. That is the greatest weakness of the Islamic Republic. That is their Achilles heel. And I think the White House understands this. And this will destroy them from the inside if they come and say, like, if they come and humiliate themselves, if they come and basically the level of humiliation that President Trump is experiencing privately with them, if they make that public, this will destroy them from the inside. So the thing is that President Trump is asking something from them that they cannot give, hopefully. And that means that we're going to have boom booms. We're going to have giant boom booms.
Hopefully.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, yeah, hopefully, because I don't know if they're asking exactly for this, but if this is what they're asking for, I don't think the Islamic Republic can give it. Here's the trick that they might want to pull off, okay? They might sacrifice Pezeshkian, like they usually do. And they're like, Pezeshkian, go and publicly say something that President Trump wants and humiliate yourself, but not the rest of us. So at that point, I hope the White House understands that means nothing. Pezeshkian talking means nothing, and they're just basically using him as a sacrificial lamb to save the rest of the Islamic Republic. So, and the rest of the Islamic Republic could be like, boo, Pezeshkian, we don't agree with you. So as a way to save the rest of the Islamic Republic. That would be their play, and I hope Americans don't fall for it. Right? Does that make sense?
I would have to see Vahidi, Mustafa, and Ghalibaf say it.
There we go. There we go. Good one. See?
If they say it, look, if they say it, I'll believe it. But I'll also believe that there's pigs flying out of my window. There's pigs flying. There's unicorns. Like, there's a lot of things that's going to happen before that happens, right?
Yep. You know what? Can we make a monkey the president? Because that would, if we go with that strategy, I think we're going to win this.
Nah, I'll give it up to Marcus Rubius Floridicus Cubanicus, first of his name.
Oh my God. Wait, hold it. What is this? I think we already watched this one.
Very, very hard.
Oh no, we didn't. This is President Trump's statement.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be with the president of Lebanon, who's highly respected in his country and actually long beyond his country. We've spoken previously on numerous occasions through representatives, and the relationship is very good. I think that Lebanon has been a very mistreated country for a long period of time. It's an amazing group of people, professors, doctors, lawyers, great intellects, and it's been hit hard for many, many decades, really. It's been hit very, very hard. And yet I have people that live in Lebanon, people that are parents of friends of mine, many cases, and they would never leave. They would not leave under any circumstance. They love it. They love the country. And it's probably a dangerous place in a lot of ways, but they live in areas, they say, we hear bombs going off all the time, but we want to live in Lebanon. They love the country. Very smart people, very successful people, and they live there.
Beirut in Lebanon was considered to be the Paris of the Middle East, right? It was so beautiful. I mean, it's still beautiful, but it was just, people there were just living their life, enjoying life, celebrating life. It was such a great place to go. And what ruined it was Islam. What ruined it was the Islamic Republic.
As far as I know, 3 places were pretty modern, pretty nice until Islam took over. They are Iran, Afghanistan, and Lebanon. Like these 3 nations were very different. There was a modernization going on. They had a Shah too in Afghanistan, and they had a modernization going. Then that went, wrong. Then what happened in Iran and then Lebanon. But these 3 places used to be very different places. And it is within living memory.
Yeah, exactly. Islam ruins everything it touches. Everything it touches.
Absolutely.
But it has it's been a country of great intellect.
Oh my God. Okay, I know we're supposed to read super chats later, but I want to highlight this one because Hezi had a really good answer. So yeah, Beirut used to be the Paris of the Middle East, but now Paris is the Beirut of Europe. Wow. Oh my God.
That's he's speaking real fact right now.
Oh my God. Okay. That was pretty cool. That was oh my God, dark but true. Wow. Thank you, Hezi. Sadly, yeah. Guys, we're going to go to the other super chats at some point, but yeah, that was just so on point that I had to highlight it.
It's been a country of great intellect, great intellectuals. They still love it. They want to be there, and we're going to help it.
Oh, wait. Also, Amir found a hack. Islam destroys everything that it touches. So Amir is like, oh, I found a hack. So if Islam touches Islam, will that destroy Islam? Actually, yes, because they do.
That's the Islamic dilemma.
Yes. No, but that is true because these ideas are self-destructive. Communism and Islam are self-destructive. So that is true.
It's a purity spiral where everybody dies.
Yeah, exactly.
Country of great intellect, great intellectuals. They still love it. They want to be there, and we're going to help it. We're going to help it a lot. So it's an honor to have the president and your representatives here. We've already met a couple of times, and we've had some good meetings. And we are going to solve a lot of problems. We've already solved some of them for Lebanon. As you know, there's a Hezbollah problem, but we've done some things that I think the world will take notice. Again, it's been a very badly treated place and country, and we're going to have it properly treated and treated with respect that it deserves. And Mr. President, it's an honor having you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you
I've
very
been
much.
looking forward to this visit for a long time.
Thank you very much.
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
It's a very nice thing. See, he knows how to get to me. He knows. He can have anything.
He can have anything. That's so amazing. Oh my God.
Like controlling Lebanon for the Lebanese is what should be. There shouldn't be an outside proxy colonizing force there. This is what the relationship should be. A head of state being able to make bilateral deals with another head of state, right? You can have some organisms that work together, but this making deals with Hezbollah, making deals with the IRGC, and making deals with proxies is not acceptable. That's one of the aspects of the MOU that I never liked. I think the impetus to getting it signed might have been that legal framework that gives us that escrow account that we can later give to a transitional government. I think that's if I was going to put a big, you know what, this is the accomplishment, it's what I said. We're going to take the oil. We're going to have it legally in an escrow account, and they're not going to get the hay or the popcorn.
The hay or the popcorn. Yes. That was, by the way, you called that. You were right about that. We should never forget that. That was a good prediction. I knew it was going to happen. I knew they were not going to be able to hold on to the deal for the length of time it took for the food to get there. It's like there's no way they're going to stop attacking long enough for that ship to get there. I knew we wouldn't be able to load the ship with the corn and the hay. It's like we're not even going to be able to load this ship before they fire. Yeah, good call on that. We should remember that you did that. That's a good call.
I appreciate you remembering. You guys remember in the chat too.
Yes, everyone. Yeah, that's good. All right. Oh my God. So somebody asked, do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain? Oh my God, this is a big topic. Let me see what he says.
Haley Bull, Scripps News. Thank you for the question. Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain? And when you say we're not done yet, what is left to finish?
Well, I think that they may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. We see the news is so wrong so many times. So, maybe this one they have right, but it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it.
Oh my God, he's announcing it because there's nothing they can do. Wow, we got confirmation, Monkey.
I called this too.
Wow, you called this too. They're gonna hit the Pickaxe Mountain, and they're so confident that the Islamic Republic can't do anything about it that they're publicly announcing it before they hit it. Oh my God,
this last
guys.
week. I said we're gonna hit that last week.
Good job, Monkey. Guys, put bananas in the chat for the Monkey. Another great prediction by the Monkey. Hold on, look at this.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it. Normally I wouldn't say that. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say that. But we'll be hitting that area pretty soon, and very heavily.
That is a bombshell news, isn't it?
I mean, yes, for you guys. I knew a week ago. I'm taking a little monkey
for the
victory
rest
lap.
For the rest of us. Oh my God. For the rest of us, not for Monkey, guys. Monkey knows all of this before it happens. But for the rest of us, that is isn't that big news though, Monkey? Like that is a huge. I think that's the most important news that we've heard so far from this.
Look, the deal I want to make with the transitional government is instead of us having to argue with all these other places for a base in Europe and some other countries, we just get Isfahan, Fordow, Natanz, and Pickaxe as our bases. We are very dug in. We protect the doors from strike, of course, but we launch from there. We could put, those places can fit airplanes very comfortably. We could make it air bases where we launch from. This is a comfortable arrangement, and we will be able to protect Iran from any outside invasion. We could make sure that there's border integrity. It's a win-win, and we could help protect the public-private partnerships you make with any nation so that the oil that comes out, all those rare earth minerals, are safeguarded, and you have a better deal. You have a deal kind of like what you used to have under the Shah, where the country was becoming richer and richer. Venezuela used to be one of the richest countries on earth. It was like, what, in the top 10, top 5? You return to a place where meritocracy and the free market have the opportunity to make the people richer.
Yeah.
What do you think about those bases under American control?
debate where the bases around the Middle East under American control. I think they're a major source of stability. I mean, everywhere, all the bases. I think the base American presence globally in their bases and also on their airstrike carrier groups and their amphibious carrier groups in general is the reason why we have nice things. Everything that we have, every stability, every progress that we have, all the the global economy being the way it is, violence and war being at historical lows, poverty being at historical lows, child mortality being at historical lows, access to clean water being at historical lows. Everything that we have, the technology that we have, is because of the stability and because of the security that is provided by the global presence of the US military. That's what I think.
I completely agree with that. And I would also say that some of the bases we have in the area, like the one we had in Jordan, is not as hardened, right? Like it was kind of vulnerable to airstrike. That was kind of the problem, that for any of these areas, the more hardened the base, the better. So to have bases in the Middle East, the most hardened base would be those. Like that kind of hardened base, it would be this thing that happened to these soldiers would be far less likely if we were working out a pickaxe.
Yeah, I don't know the engineering of that, if that's possible, but if it's true, that's amazing. That's amazing. But let's go to the next video. Okay, the Abrahamic Accords.
Well, the Abraham Accords have been, I think, a tremendous success. I think you're going to see a lot of countries joining pretty soon. As you know, we have our original group, and it's so successful for them, economically successful. It's been there. Nobody left, even during this time of conflict. So, no, I think Lebanon has a very important place.
Wait, can Lebanon join the Abraham? Yeah, okay. And also, here's the thing. What I'm hoping for is that the silver lining to Saudi Arabia, like if things get escalated and Saudi Arabia gets attacked a lot by the Islamic Republic, one positive silver lining from that for Saudi Arabia could be that it would just push them into the Abrahamic Accord. If Saudi Arabia ever joins the Abrahamic Accord, it's basically completely over for the axis of resistance. What do you think about that? And I'll be right back while you comment.
Look, I think many nations should join. I think, of course, Saudi Arabia should join the Abraham Accords. So should Lebanon. Like I said that at the beginning of the show today, Lebanon should have a deal like the Abraham Accords, maybe join the Abraham Accords. The more Islamic nations that join, the less taboo it is. Like if Lebanon joins, I believe it would make it more likely for Saudis to join. Like the more nations, if Jordan joins, it would make it more likely for, and I don't know what their relationship is, mind you, but if you could get Lebanon, Jordan, to join, I believe the more nations join the Abraham Accords, the more likely it is for Saudi Arabia to join. I mean, that's my thought on that. And I think there's going to be more accords. I think there's going to be also the Cyrus Accords in the long run.
That's correct, that the more countries join, the more it will get normalized. That is for sure true. One thing that reduces the effect of that is that the new Lebanese government is being seen by the Islamic world as traitors that have backstabbed the Muslims worldwide in favor of Israel and have abandoned their brothers and sisters against the Zionists, their fight against the Zionists. But that is still completely true. It does normalize it. More countries join. The main country joining that would have the most effective normalization is Saudi Arabia. It's the big piece.
Okay, but I would ask about that. Isn't the recent moves by the IRGC on firing on all these Persian Gulf nations, these Islamic nations, doesn't that move make Lebanon's position stronger? Like, say, okay, are you going to call them traitors because they want to defend themselves from these IRGC thugs when the IRGC just fired on all of you?
Well, in their mind, the IRGC thugs are fighting against global Zionism. So they think that they're justified, and you should be on their side. You should be on the side of your Muslim brothers and sisters in a fight against Western imperialism and global Zionism. That's their
But is
understanding.
that the view of the governments, or is that
Oh,
the view of the people? Like, we have to
people.
like, what's a more pragmatic
People.
view among
Oh
the
no,
more
the government.
lucid?
Oh, okay. No, the governments don't hate the Palestinian cause. The governments, they see it as a
So
curse. Yes.
okay,
Yeah, but they have to appeal to their population, right? Because what they're afraid of is an Islamic uprising and is like axis of resistance uprising by their population. So they have to appeal to the anti-Israeli hate to some extent.
is it that bad? It's like in any of these nations, if they get too close to Israel, like a million in the street will just take the capital and kill everyone.
Well, I mean,
Government?
that's what the fear is.
Sometimes I think that
Whether
fear is over. Like they use it as an
Rated?
excuse to not make
Well, I
better
mean,
deals with
so
Israel.
here's where the fear is. Like in some countries, it might be overrated. In some countries, like not. Okay, so here's where I think the fear is not overrated: Jordan and Saudi Arabia. And
Okay, they have more dirt, spread out through their population.
Yeah.
Okay.
That fear, definitely, that fear is not overrated in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, every night the Saudis go to sleep, they piss their pants, they piss their bed. They because there were ever since 1979, with the Islamic Revolution in Iran, the Saudis sleep every night worrying about that happen, and for good reason. For that happen because
And
it
they
actually
don't.
happened.
It actually happened once, right?
Yes, right in the same year.
Can you give us like a
Inspired.
short history lesson on that? I'm not too well versed on it.
Okay, very, very short version. When the 1979 Islamic Revolution happened in Iran, it inspired the Wahhabis inside Saudis to want to do their own Islamic revolution against the Saudis. The Wahhabis, so the Wahhabis and Saudis were married to each other, but the Wahhabis were inspired to do an uprising because the Saudis were becoming more and more westernized, and they were trying to go through a divorce with the Wahhabis, and the Wahhabis were angry that their country is becoming westernized. So they saw that the Muslims who were upset with the Shah becoming westernized and modernizing, they managed to topple that regime and Islamizing the government. So they got inspired by that, and they wanted to do the same thing in Saudi Arabia in the same year. And what happened is that they took over the Kaaba, and there was a bloodshed in the Kaaba. They killed people in the Kaaba, like there was blood everywhere, like it was crazy, right? But the Saudis managed to suppress that and kill everybody, and that uprising that it wasn't successful in Saudi Arabia. But the Saudis have been panicking ever since there. And if you actually look at the underlying religious mindset within Saudi Arabia, there's a good reason why they should be afraid of that.
Okay, that's enlightening. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right, wait, did we play this one, or is this the
the Abraham Accords have been.
Yep, we did this one. Let's go to this one. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, this is a good one. This is.
If we left today, it would take them
No, we saw this part, but there's a second
decades
part.
to rebuild, and I don't believe they could ever rebuild. And honestly, they haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice.
Okay, the second part. I like the second part. They haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice. Okay, so they haven't seen anything yet. It's another indication that something big is about to happen. Or am I reading too much into this?
Well, what haven't they seen yet?
And we will absolutely attack.
Sorry, X plays this automatically itself. What haven't they seen yet? They haven't seen the full force of the American military raining upon them like hellfire.
That's too general. What haven't they seen yet?
Okay, you're the military guy. You tell me the specifics. I'm telling you the generals. You tell me.
Well, they have seen themselves get hit by bombs. They have seen their ships confiscated. They have seen their vehicles destroyed. What they haven't seen is us take territory.
Ooh. So that's what you
What-
think is about to happen?
I'm just like, if you have to ask me what haven't they seen yet, that's what they haven't seen. They also haven't seen attacks on power plants and power plants. I think that qualifies as something they haven't seen yet.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
I would put those
Yep.
two on the table.
I think they haven't seen a massive amount of infrastructure damage. That's what they haven't seen. Like,
Well,
we have
yeah, if you
seen-
go after power
we've
plants,
seen-
what would you put as like structure that they would need to hit? If we're not being ambiguous, you were going to say, okay, power plants, we hit bridges, we hit roads. Okay, we need power plants, telecommunication towers, and a news station. For example, I'm not saying
No,
that's
no,
what they should do.
I think just okay. So we have seen them hit bridges, but they could do that, but much more. And they could hit power plants. They could hit a few as a warning, but then they could completely paralyze the entire country. That level of hitting. So it's one thing to have, maybe they have seen bridges being hit and infrastructure being hit, but you could take that and do it times 100 to a way that
Okay,
you can't even
so
function.
if I spend $1 billion of bombs hitting bridges to paralyze them, is it cheaper for me to spend 250 million instead of $1 billion and just hit all the power plants? And would that just be just as paralyzing?
Are you asking me if hitting the power plants would be more paralyzing than hitting the bridges? Is that the question?
I'm saying if they were both, let's say they're equally paralyzing. What I think one would be cheaper because there's less power plants than bridges.
Yeah. Here's the thing: hitting the power plants would end everything. Everything. Just the power plants alone.
Okay.
It would basically
So it's way more important than bridges.
Yes.
Okay.
Way more. Yeah.
I would then just do that.
Bridges that have you have workarounds. It will slow you down, but you have workarounds. Power plants, you hit them, everything stops.
So yeah,
And they
I
still
don't know
run
why
them.
we haven't done that yet.
Well, because he cares about the Iranian people and he wants to see if there's another option. That's
Yeah,
what-
but if it
that's why.
stops everything, what would happen in the street level?
Well, everything will go dark. The entire military machine of the Islamic Republic will screech to a halt. Like the communication becomes very difficult. They will be like sitting ducks. There will be an
How many of
uprising.
these people are truly not life lovers, and how many would see the power go out and go to their families?
My guess is 10% will die. Are willing to die. 90% are life lovers. My estimate.
Okay. Interesting. I think this is an interesting thought experiment. Like if you hit the bridges, you cut the force down to 10%. Okay, most of them went back to their families. There's only 10% of them out there. What does that do for the people who are sick of the IRGC and secular?
They will if there is a pause, if there is a period of pause, there will be an uprising. There wouldn't be an uprising if there's boom boom continuously, boom booms happening, kinetic military operations happening. But if you do that and then you pause, there would be an uprising.
Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking strategically because then I would just turn off all the power plants. I could have modular nuclear power from like we could put a power plant in a plane these days, right? We could put a nuclear power plant in a Galaxy, a military plane, and fly it anywhere. So if we are the only ones with power and we start taking over from the south to the north and vetting and training people and using the people who would be with the ops rising, well vetted, of course, we don't want well trained, so we don't get the mistake with the Contras, and well vetted, so we don't turn like what happened with the Mexican military when they became the Zetas cartel. So if they're trained and vetted, we could like start from the bottom to the top, handing the country over to the people. I'm like, I know, I love Jeffrey, but he wants everybody trained to be a Delta, basically. I think that's way too much training. I think some people you just train so they could manage the supplies, but vet them well. Train them so they could manage local government, but vet them well and have some security around them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I do. We should go through, because I have so many clips from President Trump.
My apologies. I'm just going into a thought experiment. Go ahead.
No, your thought experiment was so good. That's why I didn't stop it. I was actually I wanted to go through that. So that's why I didn't stop it. Yes. Okay. What is this? How about these people? Oh, I think that we haven't played this one. Yes.
And we will absolutely attack. The new site that they're talking about. I mean, how about these people? They're in this because of nuclear weapons, and they're trying to possibly reconstitute a site. We'll hit that site. Any site where they're even thinking about nuclear, we'll be hitting it very, very powerfully. Now, nobody knows except the Iranians the damage that we've done to them. We have done damage that will take them 20, 25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we had a big success. But
twice confirming that he's going to hit Pickaxe Mountain. He's talking about there's a new site that they enrich uranium that we're going to be hitting very hard. Wow. Twice he confirmed that they're going to Pickaxe Mountain is going to be hit.
I told you guys. I told you.
You don't. Okay. Oh my God, Monkey! You're gonna remind us that
it wasn't important to hit it then. Like, you were right. If it was important, we would have hit it, and you were right about that.
Yep.
I was just like, we're gonna hit it eventually.
Yeah. You know why it wouldn't make sense to hit it then? Because the centrifuges weren't even there. Like, they had dug the hole to do this, but it was like empty. Like, they hadn't even moved the facilities there. You might as well just let them move their very expensive facilities in there before you bomb it. Like, why would you be bombing an empty hole? I think that's the best reason why they didn't do it. Right?
Yes.
You'd just be closing up an empty hole. So that's good news. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Okay. You want to, we already saw this one. I read stories and they try to give you, here, this one, the them being Two-Face.
Well, this is what's happening with the people that they allowed to come into our country. They shouldn't have allowed them to come in. They shouldn't be here.
This is a different topic.
They're radical lunatics, and I'm getting them out. We're getting them out at a pace. We've gotten rid of more than any other president. I read stories. They try and give you phony stats. I was with Tom Homan this morning. He'll give you the statistics if you want, but we're getting bad people out of our country at levels never seen before. There's never been a time when more bad people, and you take a look just here in Washington, we took out almost 5,000 hardcore criminals, most of whom came in during the open border periods of the previous administration. Well,
when it comes to illegal migration, I don't think anybody could deny that President Trump has been a success. Like, I know, sometimes we praise President Trump, sometimes we criticize him. On this one topic, I think 10 out of 10. Do you agree with that? Or am I missing something?
Yes, I like the Wall, Mr. Tom the Wall Homan. He is the Wall. He is the man that is holding back the tide. I think he's doing an excellent job. I think he was being held back by Obama during the Obama administration. I think in Trump's administration, he's doing an excellent job. And the reason I think it's good for this to be played for the international crowd and for the American crowd that's watching is that you should know that illegal immigration is a problem for voting, because a lot of these places have voting without ID. They even give CDL, which is a commercial driver's license, to people that can't even read, right? So there's very little vetting when it comes to even handing an ID, but also they let you vote without an ID. So making it a requirement for you to have an ID and proof of citizen to vote is very important. It could bring some oversights to these places. A lot of Latinos and Black people started voting for Trump. That sent them into a panic. And that's why there's so many laws now that you have to vote without an ID. You can't even vote. You can't even ask. If you ask for an ID, you get thrown in jail in California. So if you want to help the US, if you want to help Iran, if you want to help the world become a better place and the US become a stronger nation, you got to get the vote out. You got to make it too big, too big. And we're trying to pass the SAVE Act. That's something happened in the US. I cover more of this on my channel where we go more into US news, but I think everyone should know that this is very important. I know that the Iranian cause and the international news is very popular, but for us to have all these accomplishments past November, well, this needs to be done.
Yep. That was, yeah, okay. All right, look at this. Now here, President Trump is asking if Israel should leave southern Lebanon. So let's see what President Trump says to that.
When the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon? When the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon? Is there a clear timeline?
They're in the process of doing that. They're in the process of redeploying to other sections. And again, they get along very well. That was a great agreement they signed with Lebanon, and they're redeploying. Okay.
Okay. As long as, you know, again, so they're in the process of doing that. So as long as there's no shoulds for Israel and things are just, the commentary is that things are already happening, I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that? I'm happy with that.
Well, if you notice what he said, he didn't say they were leaving. Did you hear what he said carefully? They're of redeploying. So that doesn't mean they're redeploying to Israel. What they're doing is leaving sections, taking sections from Israeli control and passing them on to Lebanese control. So it's basically they're jointly clearing and passing control, clearing and passing control, so that at the end, the Lebanese army takes over. This is what I'm thinking is going on. And I had heard something like this from other people. But if you listen to him carefully, I would even play that back a little bit so you hear exactly what he said. He didn't say they were leaving. He said redeploying. Yeah. He was very cagey about it.
To me, as long as there's no demands made out of Israel, I'm happy. That's my standard. When
the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon? When the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon? Is there a clear timeline?
They're in the process of doing that. They're in the process of redeploying to other sections. And again, they get along very well. That was a great agreement they signed with Lebanon, and they're redeploying.
Good catch, good catch. No confirmation that they're even leaving.
Yeah, it's pretty much switching sections. They're like basically, okay, this is clear. Here you go. This is clear. Here you go. Just passing it along. So it's like clearing sections. Yeah, it's basically running and gunning, clearing. And I showed you some videos of how dangerous it is. I sent them to you before because there's a lot of misconception, especially from our dear president. He loves buildings. He loves buildings. He builds buildings, loves buildings. But sometimes he's not aware of how booby-trapped these buildings are, the amount of explosives that are inside them, what it's like to have a rocket in a building, and you can't just pull that out. You have to basically explode the building. Sometimes when you hit these buildings, they have secondary explosions because of the high amount of explosives inside the building when you hit it. And I think it's very important for everybody to know that when we're knocking down building, it's not just for the fun of it. It's because they're full of explosives, and they were putting any family that lived there in danger too.
Ooh, look at this statement from President Trump. This was about the American soldiers being killed. President Trump commented on that. Look at this.
So seriously. They did slip something through in Jordan. And if we had...
Saying they slipped something, the Islamic Republic slipped something through in Jordan. It's talking about the missile getting through the defense and killing the American servicemen.
And if we had other operators, would have not happened, unfortunately. But because we have the best equipment in the world, we've stopped almost everything. But when you let other people do your job, with the United States, we let other people do the job, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But we're going to be going and paying our respects at Dover.
Okay, so he's saying the defense system was doing its job properly, but apparently he's saying the Jordan, like as my understanding is that because the Jordanians were operating the defense system, that's why the missile managed to slip through. That's what my understanding of what he's saying is.
I didn't catch it right. Like that phrasing. Can you run it? I apologize. Can you run it back one more time?
Yeah, I could read it one and then I'll play it again. So it's saying they did slip something through in Jordan. If we had other operators, that wouldn't have happened. When you let other people do your job, it sometimes doesn't work so well. So let me play it again one more time so you get him directly from him.
So seriously, they did slip something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, would have not happened, unfortunately. But because we have the best equipment in the world, we've stopped almost everything. But when you let other people do your job, with the United States, we let other people do the job, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But we're going to be going and paying our respects at Dover.
That is 100% true, by the way, because like we could see this in Saudi Arabia. They have the best military equipment, the most expensive American weapons. They buy it from United States, and they suck at it using it. So this is the same thing with the defense system. If the Jordanians are operating it, it's not going to work in its full potential. So this is why when you're giving these countries your defense system, you also have to charge them for Americans going there and operating them as well, not just the weapons. You have to sell them the weapons, and you have to make it a condition that you also pay for our people to come and operate it, because you guys suck at this.
So I have a question. How similar is the structure of command? What do you know about their military? Is it very much loyalty based, or is it merit based? Because we would have to try to do a joint operation with people that have their place because they're some guy's family, not because they rose through the ranks. So if you have people that are working, and I don't know that they just let any rank operate one of these machines, but if you have to train someone that doesn't have the skills to have it, and I'm not trying to insult our partners in Jordan. I'm just saying some people are sometimes. Let me give you an example, because I want to be respectful, right? Maybe you are a duke, right? And because you're a duke, you're given this land, right? But if you were in a different system, you would have found a passion for economics, and you would do a much greater good for your land, heading the Ministry of Finance. But because of this loyalty, they just placed you in charge of this, let's say an aqueduct system or whatever, and that's not really your calling, right? So I want to be respectful while I say maybe there could be something to do with the structure. Is it like top heavy? Because one of the problems with the Saudis is that it was top heavy, right? So the people that are getting placed in power, it's coming more from a sense of loyalty and family than it is from merit. So I would that'd be my question. I don't want to be disrespectful when I ask. I just want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you being respectful means that if you suck, we'll be honest with you. That's how you're being respectful, by not holding back when you suck, right?
I mean, they could be better at something else. I'll grant them that.
Okay, but so what I'm seeing right now here, I just looked it up, is that they're tactically elite but structurally weakened by tribal favoritism and limited institutional transparency. So basically, this is what the report said. Despite elite combat readiness and strategic Western alliances, the broader military structure is burdened by tribal patronage and budget opacity, basically, and also wasta. I don't know what that is. Addressing non-meritocratic promotion system and military transparency remains crucial for sustaining long-term institutional strength. So very tribal favoritism and also limited transparency weakens the Jordanian army structurally, even if they have elite individual people working within the system. So that's
So you see why I asked the question, because I think it goes into who was operating what and why. That's a very important question.
yeah. Actually, I didn't even know, but now that I checked it, I was like, let's see if Monkey is right, and you hit the nail right on the head. Like that was pretty on point after I checked it, so that was pretty good. You know what you're.
They make us proficient. Like anything we do, we have to be proficient in it. And if we're not proficient, we get fired. We get what they do. We don't get fired. We get reclassified, right? If you can't work proficiently in your MOS, which is like your job, you get reclassed. Don't worry, we'll find a dumber job for you. You will have a use for you. But you're not gonna stay because of loyalty. You're not gonna stay because your uncle's a general. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Okay, let's go through what Pete Higgs had said in this meeting.
Something no president's been willing to do. 47 years, they build up a conventional capability like the North Koreans did. Remember, that's how North Korea made their way to a bomb. So much weaponry that no one was willing to stand up to them. President Trump was, and it continues to this day. Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate. To show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder, which every night we're degrading them further and further. And the president has all the options necessary. If they want to talk, they can talk. Otherwise, they can deal with the War Department, and we're prepared to do that. Something no.
Oh, and the blockade. The rest was important, but okay. So yeah, we've heard that before, and yep, 10 times harder. That's what it should be. Honestly, they could talk, but you shouldn't even listen. But they let them talk if they need to. But
you see that number?
Yes, that's why I'm playing it. This one, right?
Important to remember.
Yep. So that's why I'm playing it, because that's exactly.
And that's official. Like this, when they say plus, is like unofficially we know it's probably more.
Yes, exactly. That's what I've been verified, basically. Let's see what I think President Trump is going to be talking about that here.
Plus, I put a couple of them up today. Young kids, they kill them like they're. Plus.
So here, the editor didn't do a good job, because he says 52,000 plus.
Put a couple of them up today. Young kids, they kill them like they're candy. It's crazy what they do. They treat them so badly. They're just killing people just at random. Over 52,000 people, and nobody talks about it.
Again, guys, I don't see anybody in the West who is non-Iranian keep bringing attention back to the Iranian people as much as President Trump. I hope you guys understand how much I have to appreciate this as an Iranian. There's nobody keeps reminding the Western media that is insisting on forgetting. Nobody reminds them. No non-Iranian reminds them to get back on bringing the attention back to the Iranian people as much as President Trump. I mean, I'm not somebody who praises President Trump all the time. You know that. I get so many times people tell me in the chat that, oh, Armin, you have Trump derangement syndrome. I get accused of both, of TDS and at the same time being worshiping President Trump. I get accused of both. But you have to accept that on this point, no matter what criticism I have for President Trump, on this point, I can't be more grateful. This is something that Iran, I hope more Iranians understand how much we need this, and how grateful do we have to be that President Trump keeps bringing this back to our attention.
I appreciate it, because it really puts things into perspective, especially the perspective that is very important here and that is not said enough, is the IRGC is not Iran. Right. That's something everyone should know and understand. Some people make the mistake, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes with no ill intent, of saying, oh, Iran did this, Iran did that. They have no ill intent. But the more we and people like Trump cement the idea that there is a gulf between, pun intended, between the people and the IRGC, as much as there is a gulf between these countries, it's wide and it's deep. There is a very big difference between the IRGC, which are a minority of the people and a violent occupational force,
and the people themselves.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Wait, hold on. Was this the one that we just played? Yes, that was the one. Okay. President Trump talking directly to Hezbollah. Would he do it? Would he talk to Hezbollah?
Mr. President,
I would say this: if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, he's lived with Hezbollah for a long time, and if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, I would.
Okay, so he's making a condition. Oh, that's so sweet. I love how they're getting along. If he wants me to speak to them, I'll speak to them.
That's a lot of power.
Yes.
Don't make me call the Don. You heard him. If I call him, don't make him come down. If I make him, oh my God, you don't want me to call the Don.
Wow. Yes. That's like, I love the bromance here. This is nice. This is nice. Okay. Here's an interesting question. Somebody is asking President Trump if he thinks the Islamic Republic is trying to affect the midterms elections. Let's see how President Trump responds to that.
They don't seem to be able to do anything about it. If they managed their forests, they wouldn't have the fires.
Do you believe that Iran is trying to impact the midterm elections by threatening the Strait of Hormuz?
They won't have any impact on me. I'm just going to do the right thing. I don't view it as, gee, we're having an election in a period of time. Everyone says, oh, I'm doing something before. No, the election, I can't think about that having to do with this. I think people are very impressed. I mean, we took over Venezuela. We now have a great relationship with Venezuela. We went to war. They don't seem to be able.
Okay, so President Trump's like, yeah, probably they're confirming that they're probably doing it, and it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do what it needs to be done.
I still think, you know what? If he was going to make any moves that were about the midterms, he'd say the same thing, right? I believe he understands that it is good for, there's things that, okay, let me put it to you this way. Sometimes some things can be good for two reasons, right? So you make a big move because you have them on the back foot, right? And you make a big move because of that, because you want to put them in a different position. If it just so happens that you put them in that different position before the midterms, oh well, things can coincide.
Wait, so you're saying President Trump does care? Like he's just saying that? Is that what you're saying?
I think he can afford to say both. Like, two things can be true. Like, let's say, let's put it to you this way. Let's say the opposite of what I just said. Let's say, he can't do a surge. He has to wait. He has to wait. There's no way to do it right now, and he has to wait past the midterm. Would he make a big move just to satiate the midterms? I don't think he would. I don't think he would sacrifice something tactically for the midterms. You understand what I'm saying? So
yes.
if these things align, he would do it. If they wouldn't, he wouldn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it can be that it's good to do a surge before the midterms, but if it was bad to do a surge before the midterms, I don't think he would do it. Just for that political win, if it made things worse on the long run.
That makes sense. All right, so here's another hot topic on President Trump on Syria getting basically Jolani al-Shara, his new name, whether they should be fighting Hezbollah or not. So let's see what he says over here. So because that was something that became a big hot topic regarding whether, instead of Israel fighting Hezbollah, to get Jolani attacking Hezbollah instead.
You mean coming in and doing something with Hezbollah?
Yes.
Well, it's a concept. We get along very well with the president of Syria. He's done a very good job. I wouldn't be surprised if this gentleman's going to do a job just like that. He's done a very good job. He's pulled Syria together. He would like to come in and do something with Hezbollah. He's been fighting Hezbollah for a long time. I think it'd be very effective. So it's something I think.
Okay, I think he's walking it back a little bit because he's saying, well, it's a concept, something I think about, but this gentleman could do a good job with Hezbollah. I think, like, do you feel like maybe he's walking that back, the Jolani one, a little bit back and focusing more on Lebanese army against Hezbollah?
Well, look at the context. If he says that Jelani is needed, he's saying this guy is not up to the job to take care of his own country. He's not going to do that. That'd be political. He'd be insulting him. You understand what I'm saying? He can't do that. Like, and it is a better strategy to work with the guy in Lebanon to deal with Lebanon than to call in the guy in Syria.
Definitely.
But
yes,
saying that right now, oh, Jelani could probably do a better job in Lebanon than the guy that's over here to my right that's supposed to be in charge of Lebanon. That's an insult. He can't possibly say that. Like, he would have to, I don't think he walked it back. I think he placed more faith in Lebanon's ability to do it by themselves, which is what I said about this 2 months ago when I said Trump is just pushing Lebanon and Israel to deal with Hezbollah so some outside force doesn't have to take care of it. You two get strong on this shit so nobody has to even think about Syria. And that's what he's pushing for. He's putting this person in better. Everything I said about this is what's happened. People were so angry. This was worse than what I said about the food. People were screaming at me. They wanted me out. They wanted me to not talk anymore. I was like, I'm right about this. And here it is.
So they're like, don't make me bring the terrorist. Get along or I'll bring in the terrorist. Is that what you're saying?
You want the decapitator or are you guys going to handle it? Are you guys going to get along and handle this? Are you going to do some joint operations? Everything I said would happen. I said he wants them to make a deal. He wants them to do joint operations between Israel and Lebanon so them together can take out Hezbollah. This is exactly, and everybody in the chat that was here remembers, and those who weren't can go back and look at the tapes. This is exactly what I said would happen. And it's happening. It's an insult. You're offending the Israel. Oh my God! Everybody was so upset. They were so in their feelings about it.
It is insult. I mean, even if it is working, it is kind of insulting to the Israelis. But I see what you're saying. But it was insulting. At the end of the day, it does reduces Israel's soft power in the West if you tell them that you guys flatten buildings for no reasons and you're not doing a good job and Jolani could do a better job than you. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it has some negative effects on the soft power of Israel, especially in the West. But let's go to this video.
Wait. Don't you think, like, having taken that all as a given, everything you're saying is correct, but don't you think their soft power is bigger now that they're able to make a deal with Lebanon, that they're working together, that they have this give and take, that the Syrian interference seems like not even necessary. We can make a deal with our neighbors. We have more soft power. Like that's like they would lose more soft power just getting hit by Hezbollah. That's a big loss of soft power because you're getting hit with hard rockets.
Yeah,
like,
to your
I think
point,
this gives them soft power.
To your point, the biggest way to get soft power is to win, right? So to your point, but also I do think we need to leave room for reactions like that. Just because long term it benefits you, I do think that it's justified that when you hear that narrative against your country, for you to react to it, you should just take it, because maybe even if there is a long-term point to it, I do think the reaction is justified. I think both could be true. Like what you're saying is true.
This is absolutely true. I completely agree. If they weren't wrong, I couldn't be right. I'm laughing. Right. I'm like, that's a joke. That's a joke. Right. Chat, come on, chat. I was joking. I'm just kidding. I'm just poking a little fun.
Okay. Yes, the Israeli response to those comments against their country was completely justified. That's all I will say. But anyways, let's play this one.
To protect our men and women, and it does not make me feel good, does not make anyone feel good. We lost a young woman from Carrollton, Texas, and this is a sad reality of war.
Yeah, we're showing her face on the screen now. Private Isabella Gonzalez from Carrollton, Texas, is one of those lives that were lost. When you look at those lives lost, you understand that you say they're back at war. Do you feel like you have been sufficiently briefed on what the president's strategy is with this war now?
I do
Wait,
believe
hold it
I
one
have,
second.
Several.
You don't have to brief. The commander in chief doesn't have to brief everybody about what the strategy is. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous question. Do you feel that you have been sufficiently briefed as a member of the Senate of Congress? That's not something that the commander in chief has to do. These people aren't in the military. They might have a leak. They might have a leak in their office. They don't have that's not their job. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do believe I have. Several weeks ago, I stated that the administration needed to make sure that they provided members of Congress with that. They are now moving forward to hit key rail sites, key sites of traffic. I'm very happy with what I see from a perspective of, instead of just fighting this war, hoping that the Iranians would sooner come to the table or later, we now are going to force this issue. And it is not going to be easy, but we're now going way deeper. A series of at least one B-52 came and delivered what would have been an entire armament from an aircraft carrier in one opportunity. They flew from the United States to do this. So the administration is taking the steps that will be necessary to put a real pinch on the Iranians, and I am very supportive of it.
Oh, he just said everything.
Yeah.
He just said the whole plan, like everything he learned in the briefing, he just put it out there. Maybe that was supposed to be public, but goddamn, this is why you don't tell. If any of that was secret, I'm like, oh, this is why we don't tell you things.
Well, look
This
at
is
this
it.
caption, right? Look at this. He's a representative, I think. Yeah, Pete Sessions on the 2 U.S. soldiers who were recently killed in Jordan. This is a sad reality of war. And then look at this caption. However, he says he is very supportive of Trump's objective in Iran. Look at this, Monkey. Respond to this. Has he asked his constituents what they think? So what do you respond to
Yeah,
this?
they voted for him. That's how these constituents say what they think. They say, we think you're good at checking this stuff out for us. That's what a representative government does.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
get
what I think.
you don't
I
get
think
to
it
vote
makes
on
it
every decision. We don't have to direct democracy.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. I think he's confusing representative democracy with a direct democracy that we don't have anywhere in the world, by the way. There's a
I
new
think Athens
clip.
had something like that, and it went terribly.
Yeah, not even they, because they had a direct democracy for male landowners. It wasn't for slave. It wasn't for women, right? So that, not
Okay,
even
but you
they
know a
had
little
it.
bit more about this than me. Did it work out terribly? I heard it went real bad. They made a lot of dumb decisions. Killed some of their best people just because of that.
I mean, things went well for them for a long time, but that was mostly because because slavery. They were making a lot of money from slavery. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
they
look at
didn't get
this.
they didn't represent the slaves at all.
No. But like Athens. Did you know that Athens with the philosophers and everything? You know why they had so many philosophers? Because they were making so much money from the slave trade. That's why they had so many philosophers from Athens, because everybody was busy at home thinking, because they didn't have to do any work because they had so many slaves.
So we're gonna get robots.
Right. So yes. All right, look at this new clip from Prince Reza Pahlavi.
My position as a transitional leader is I'm not the destination. I'm a bridge to the destination, number one. Number two, in order to be a neutral arbiter, I'm completely above the fray. I'm not taking sides, either for a monarchy or for a republic. My job is to make sure that there's a healthy debate, and at the end, people decide what is it that they actually would prefer to have as the final form.
You know what? He has been saying that for the past more than 40 years. Same thing. I'm not here for monarchy or for a republic. I'm here to make. I'm fighting for the Iranian people to be able to make their own decisions. And people are like, oh, he's bringing monarchy back to Iran. And like like I don't know how many times he has to repeat this. Like, no, I'm just gonna fight for the sovereignty of my people. That's what I'm fighting for. I'm not gonna push for any sides. For 47
Look,
years, he has been repeating this.
It's hardest to wake the people that are pretending to sleep, and it's harder to explain to people who don't want to understand. I'm just glad we took this MOU, we made an escrow account, we got the money here for the transitional government, so things are kind of ready to go. So thanks for signing that MOU. Now we have the legal framework to hold your money for whoever is the government, transitional or not.
Right. Okay, wait, what is this one about? Hold on. Oh, this is a big deal. This is like the continuation of the what is it called when people leave the body of the regime? I forgot what that's called. There's a word starts with D. Anyways, so the continuation of that happening. Watch this. Desertion.
I began receiving some DMs in my social media by elements that say, I'm a Basiji in Mashhad, or I'm a member of the IRGC in such and such country. We hate this regime. We're not with them. We're looking for an opportunity to break away, blah, blah, blah. It was really a casual. And when I said to the media that,
oh, sorry, this defection. Sorry, that's a different word. Sorry, guys. Yes, so this is Princess of Pahlavi is confirming that. By the way, they hand this to other people. They have a framework for collecting this, but he's just confirming that this continues to happen.
We're looking for an opportunity to break away, blah, blah, blah. It was really a casual. And when I said to the media that I'm in touch with elements like that, it was in that context. It's not that, like, in fact, talking to the IRGC command, not at all.
Oh, let me give you the context. Now I see what's happening. So people were saying that he came out in an interview and said he's talking to IRGC people, and people were like, oh no, Princess of Pahlavi is like part of IRGC. He's working with them. And like, no, you idiots. There are people for like there's lower level people who are defecting and are basically coming and saying that we want to work with you. He's talking about that. People, this is the major accusation against Princess of Pahlavi because he said this at one point and everybody clips that out of context and makes it seem like he admitted that he's working with the IRGC.
But there were elements of the Basij, of the Sepah, of course the military as well, that would communicate with me, discreetly, and obviously as a sign that, this is what the deal is.
Yeah.
What is this Sepah?
Sepah is IRGC. Sepah Pasdaran Enqilab Islami is IRGC. Sepah.
Okay, so when you mistakenly said another word for defections, what was that word?
Desertion.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, did he say defecations? Of course there's going to be more defecations. They're crapping their pants over there with all the bombs. Oh, okay. That's way better.
Yes. Okay. I made a mistake. Sorry. Okay. I promise after this, we're going to go to just super chats, just 2 more videos. Now that I showed Princess of Pahlavi, I just want to appreciate Asman Gold for supporting Princess of Pahlavi. And
I watch him every day, and he's very much on the side of the Iranian people. He wants to eliminate the IRGC. He's sick of Hezbollah. He's sick of Hamas. Like, I've been watching this man it took time and realization. Like, at first he was like, wait a minute, this guy wasn't even a real journalist. Like, he's had the kind of slow realization of what's really going on that a lot of people had in the USA. And for anyone that follows him and has seen the shift, it's so refreshing, especially because he's such a powerful voice. I think he's also he sometimes features things that Neo says, things that Goldie, like he says she's great. Like he's pretty much on the side of the Iranian people, not the IRGC or Hezbollah or Hamas. He hates those people. He hates the Houthis, especially because one of the guys who talks a lot of crap about him, Hassan Piker, supports the Houthis, and that's how he kind of came to understand. It's a different road to get into it and understand, but the road that leads to understanding, whatever got you there, understanding is the goal.
True. Okay, let me just play this because I love this clip.
90 million people watch this guy. One thing that a lot of people said is that this guy doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't represent Iranians or for some other variation of that. Whenever they turned off the internet, he lost 30 million average viewers on his videos. It's almost like all of the Iranian people over there were watching it.
Like he put 2 and 2 together in a way that nobody else, like none of the Western media did. Like that was pretty amazing.
He did it a long time ago. That's a very old clip. I saw that live.
I know. No,
Like,
I know this is old.
He's become even a stronger defender of, like, I feel like kind of proud because this guy, I love this guy. What can I say? I'm a fan. And when you say you're someone, I never knew him to be like, know much about this stuff, be more against intervention. And when someone you're a fan of turns to your cause or like something you care about and starts embracing it, it feels so good.
Right. Yeah, I knew this is old. I just wanted to remind people because this clip came out and went viral exactly when the entire world was being skeptical of Princess Pahlavi. So that's why I wanted to just bring it back and remind people.
He also has a lot of Jew haters in his chat. He argues with them constantly.
Okay, and he doesn't ban them. He argues with them. I appreciate. I
No,
really
he
respect
bans
that.
them. He bans them all the time. But hey, you do your thing.
Okay. Trying to make a point here, monkey. But anyways, I want everybody to also remember Isabella Gonzalez and all our I just saw this video. I do think there needs to be more videos made of the other fallen as well, but I saw this, so I wanted to share that with you guys.
This is Isabella Gonzalez. She was 19 years old, and on July 17th, in Jordan, she was one of 2 of the service members whose lives were taken while serving the United States Army. She graduated from Hebron High School. She was part of the class of 2025. At the young age of 19, Isabella showed more bravery than 99% of this world's population. She saved more lives at 19 than I would say 98% do by the time they reach 90. She enthusiastically, with pride, chose to be exactly where she was and chose to do exactly what she was doing. Now, I never had the honor of meeting this incredible person, but I do have the opportunity of making sure we never forget her name. And we all are aware of the sacrifice she and her family have made. Thank you, Isabella Gonzalez, for serving your country and for serving us the way you did. I'm going to ask that you please share this video and please remember who Isabella is and what she did.
Thank you, Isabella. Thank you.
I mean, this, like, if you got a kid that's that age, it hits so hard. Like, this could have. This could have been one of our little ones, you know. Like for people that got kids, this hits. Like this is, and it makes your hair stand up. Like, you know, you understand them, you recognize their bravery, you know that you know their sacrifice is not in vain. But like when you've held a little creature in your arms and then seen them grow up to be pretty much a different version of that, it's oh man, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I just want to thank Monkey and everybody else who has served. Thank you for your service, and also thank all the families of anybody who has been affected by anyone, not just Isabella, but anybody who has given the greatest sacrifice to protect their country, but also in effect protecting the world. I know the goal is not to protect the world, but you end up doing it anyways, because and the whole world benefits from what you sacrifice. And me, as somebody who is not an American, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you, and I hope many Americans also see your value and appreciate you the way that you should be appreciated. So thank you again for your service.
Thank you. You know, my girl wanted to go, and I told her, look, you got to go to college first. If you're going to go in as an officer. But like it goes through your mind. Like, if I wouldn't have said that, would have she been enlisted? Would she be in that situation? You know what I mean? Like you couldn't. I can easily see myself being in those shoes, and I know that it's a tough road to walk.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Yeah. Okay. Let's go through the. Hold on, let me see if I could find something before I go to your comments. Can't find it. All right. There we go. Found it. All right. Let's go through the super chats. Yes, the Jew hater saying Americans' joys are slowly realizing their air defense systems are utter shit. The American air defense has been objectively been proven to be the most effective air defense in the world. And it's not just me who's saying that, but it's also the Islamic Republic own analysts say that. Maybe, I know you don't trust us, but maybe go watch your own officials. They are saying that. They are admitting that on state TV. Maybe actually pay attention to the narrative that comes from your own people.
One thing that needs to be remembered here is that there is a problem where systems like the IRGC and some other systems in the Middle East that are not merit-based, and that goes from the markets into how you promote people. When it's not merit-based, you don't have the kind of operators you need to make equipment function well, and that's part of the problem that's being had here. And just to underscore that, that's why we have one of the best systems in the world, and that's probably why the IRGC is failing so hard, because it's about loyalty and position and family. It's not about being the best of the best.
Right. Exactly. This is why, guys, this is what saves you is your fundamental values. Do not sacrifice your values. Even when it gets really difficult, sometimes you feel like, just right here, let's wait, if we could just give up our values just a little bit so that we could just destroy our enemy a little bit more effective. That is a short-term gain for a long-term loss. United States became superior because of its fundamental values. Do not move an inch away from your values. That's how you got what you got. That's why you're the most powerful country in the world.
Yes,
Fleshy,
thank you.
go on. No, thank you. Fleshy Interloper, thank you for the super chat. Saying Jew hater is giving me a break. Maybe I'll have a nap. Thank you. Yes, he does fund Zionism very effectively.
Rest is important.
Yes. And Jew hater saying the Houthis' reaction to this Jew-backed organization who will get put down faster than I got propped up. Is that okay? So this is good. This is good. He's like, the Jew hater is praising the Houthis as these like tough motherfuckers.
But the Jews are in Sana'a all the way, right? They're deep in there. Oh my God, you got infiltrated.
Let me show you. Let me show you the Houthis, Mikey. You're gonna love this. Okay, look at this. In Yemen, 90% of men and 50% of women chew khat daily. A quarter of all their household income is spent on this plant. Alcohol is haram, yet they are all drug addicts. Make this make sense. Look at this. This is what the Houthis do. This is another reason why they're so poor.
What does this do to what kind of high is this?
It's this really weird drug. Look at this. This is what Jew hater praises. Look at this, guys. Look at these barbarians. Look at this. You see on the ground? They chew it and they throw it on the ground in front of you.
Like tobacco?
That's all spit. That's all spit. That's all chew that spit it, like chew that plant, spit it on the ground in front of them. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. They're saying that there's no God but God and Muhammad is his prophet. This is their culture. This is what Jew hater is praising in the chat. This is what he thinks like they're great warriors. Look at this. Look at this disgusting.
Why are they chewing? What does that grass do to them? Do they get drunk?
It makes them high. No, it makes them high. It's like a drug. It has a high. It's like
No, I
opium
get-
or something.
It's like opium, so it's a it's a downer, not an upper.
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
They seem mellow.
I don't know much.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the effect of it. I don't know. I don't know the difference.
Look, Americans, stay away from this because I know what you would do.
no, but look at this. This is
I
the
saw
country-
Breaking Bad. They'd make this 10 times more powerful.
Okay, but let's look at this. This is what Jew hater is praising as the people. They spent all they this is why they're poor, other than the fact that they're Muslim and jihadi, but it's also because they're, you know, look at this, because they're like spend half their income on this. This is what they do on their free time. Any money that they make goes to this.
I bet their teeth are green.
They always have this thing like they have like they're always something like, even when they're not here, they're always they're chewing something.
No, because in America we had chewing tobacco, but it doesn't like make you high. It's a different thing. So I can kind of see it, but like sitting down and doing it like that, like it's something that people do on the go. Like I had to deal with it because I don't like it. But when I was in the military, there are people, the good old boys that got some chew. And I think they've replaced it with Zins. That's the new thing. I've never tried a Zin, but they do that now. But it's not so much of a high that you'd sit down and do it all day. So this must be a more powerful drug.
Well, it is a more powerful drug, and they give it to their children. Look at this. You see their mouth like up, like always like this. Hold on, let me bring it up.
Let me see.
Yeah. You see that they I don't know what to You see, all of them have it. Like all of them have it. It's basically the chewing hot. Look, everybody has it. It's just they look so weird. They all look so weird. Oh my god, it's such a weird.
This is, you know why this is also terrible? Because once you get a kid addicted to something, you can get them to do anything. And I don't, these guys may go beyond the goats and start messing with these kids.
Right, they do. They definitely do. This is what they do. And it's interesting because some people celebrate this. They think it's beautiful. Like, look at this. Like, some people like celebrate this as a beautiful culture or something. They make arts about it. Like, oh wow, so wholesome. They have this. What is this? Guys, all cultures are equal, apparently. Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's one of the. Oh my god, hell no.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
No, but that's one of Nux's favorite phrases, and you just give me a flashback. All cultures are equal, guys, and then he shows some horrible thing like that.
By the way, Jew hater, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to make fun of your people. Okay, Sayed with a super chat saying, thank you, Armin and Grease Monkey. Great job, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. And then Fleshy Interloper saying Hezbollah still nastiness in Becca. What does that mean? Hold on.
I don't know where
Hezbollah
that is.
still-
Next in Bika, Southern Province. I don't know what SP means. It could be Southern Province.
Here, let me figure this out myself. I could.
Like, because of where Hezbollah, the context, I would think it's Southern Province of Lebanon.
Yeah, there's not enough room. That's the problem. I'll get AI to decode your message. You know what? I should make a gem. I should make a. Okay, he's asking. There you go. He's asking if Hezbollah still maintains a major stronghold presence in Lebanon, Bekaa Valley. Oh, that's okay. See, AI decoded it. So, guys, now if you send us coded short messages like that, then yes, Bekaa Valley remains one of Hezbollah's primary strongholds and military hubs in eastern Lebanon. It has been heavily targeted by Israel airstrikes during recent escalations and faces increasing pressure from the Lebanese government. Hezbollah still maintains an active, organized, and military infrastructure in the region. Okay, so guys, now if I can't decode your super chats, I'll just give it to AI and they decode it. Thank you. And then confetti for Israel. Thank you, Fleshy got us to confetti.
I was close. Like I'm almost as smart as a gem.
Yes, as a gem. You are a gem.
Oh, that's so sweet. Stop it! You're gonna get a monkey hug.
Oh my god. All right. The real Saw with a super chat. By the way, speaking of Lebanon, the real Saw is Lebanese American, saying Lebanese president is Christian. He's not anti-Israel. Lebanon will have to work with Israel for a lasting peace. True. Like the whole Middle East has to realize that. Lebanon is shifting from being an IRGC puppet to an Israeli, no, not to Israeli puppet, no, and to an Israeli one. I wouldn't say puppet. I would say ally, to an Israeli ally. And I'm totally fine either with it. I wouldn't say an Israeli puppet because the relationship would be win-win. It's more of an ally than a puppet when it comes to Israel, at least.
Also, by what we saw today, like the president is giving a lot of respect to the president of Lebanon, the president of the U.S. So there seems to be an effort to let everyone know, hey, make your own deal with Israel, and the world will recognize you as an up-and-comer, not a puppet, as your own thing, right? Because that's what's kind of happening with Lebanon being in the White House, getting recognized, having a deal with U.S. Like these are all things that make it more independent, so that the partnership that they have with Israel will be more equal.
Yes. Also, yeah. Also, the Lebanese government is going to have a lot of leverage, but when the United States is backing it as well. And thank you, Real Cell. Thank you for the super chat. Jew hater saying, remember when Fox News was all macho during the first few days? Look at their pathetic faces now and their tune. Oh, wait, let me see. I have an answer for that. Here. There you go. Here. You want pathetic? Pathetic face. Here, Jew hater, this is your people. Here. Don't make me bring out don't make me bring out the pathetic faces of your people. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. You want pathetic? I'll show you pathetic.
He has to make one of those Washington Redskin avatars that he has, but like, you know, put it on it Yemeni Houthi and have a big old bubble right there on the cheek on his avatar.
Yeah.
You know, just so he can represent himself better.
So Judah is saying, I think Pahlavi will rule Iran before GTA 6 comes out. Well, we got your supreme leader before GTA 6, so we got that. Go cry about that. So there you go. Oh my God, I have such good responses to this. The real Saw with a super chat saying, No, they're saying Suez could be at risk. Americans always go to the extreme when explaining things. They think that Suez could be at risk. I honestly don't think that's what he meant. I think that because he said the Islamic Republic is threatening the Suez Canal, I think, maybe Monkey is right. Like, I think he was talking about Bab el-Mandeb, because there's, like, what he was saying was basically, like, at face value was not true. Like, the Islamic Republic was not directly threatening the Suez Canal. But I agree with you that Suez Canal is at risk for sure. I mean, anything that puts that entire, I mean, if you basically close Bab el-Mandeb, I don't know if the Suez Canal will be able to maybe handle the load after that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, the whole world is at risk. So there you go. And thank you, the real self, for the super chat. Juader with the super chat saying, "Greasy." Okay, well, no, this is to you. I'm not going to highlight. If you highlight, I will highlight. I will read stuff if it's attacking me. I'm not going to do that to my co-host. Okay, so you just attack me. I will highlight though. Julia saying more US soldiers, I think, died from CDL than this freedom mission.
You know what it means?
No, what is that?
Commercial driver's licenses.
Oh, okay.
You know what, we like people in California, especially in California, started giving people who don't know how to read English commercial driver's license. So they're driving a 16-wheeler, but they can't read the signs on the road, and it's led to, like, that's killed about 40 people. Like there's been a lot of accidents because of CDLs given to illegal immigrants. That's been a big problem. A few of them made a lot of headlines because they were caught on video, but I mean, he's literally technically correct.
You know what is true is that Iranian people are dying in the hundreds of thousands every year because of the low quality roads and cars over there.
Oh, you showed me the death trap, that they have a death trap car. That is the weapon of mass destruction. If anybody gets to import those.
What is H. Paul there? I don't understand that part of the super chat.
Bepish. What does Bepish mean? That's the thing in the song.
Let's go. Yeah, the Bepish. I know that part, but H. Paul, I don't know. H. Paul Bepish. H. Paul Bepish. Okay. Thank you. I don't understand that part, but we got the rest. And thank you for the super chat. Vashi saying, "Monkey is sus. Why you on Grinder?" Or Monkey, why you?
No, I'm not. I'm saying they should get on all platforms. I'm not saying I'm on all platforms. I'm saying they should block the because you got to understand, Mustafa's probably on Grinder, so you got to block them there too and say no, don't message me on Grindr, Mustafa. You have to like say it publicly that you want to deal.
Mustafa is not on Grinder. They don't allow children on that app.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good hit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Zip Gun with a super chat. Thank you so much, Zip Gun. Saying, can the Lebanese Speaker of Parliament be trusted? No. It's too Shia.
No politician is trusted. You watch them closely, you check their performance.
Right, you're right. Actually, no politician. Exactly. It's based on interest. It's not based on trust. That's always the rule. It's based on interest and power. It's not based on trust. But if the question, so I'll adjust the question and a little bit. Is he our ally? No. Is Shia, right? Because they're Hezbollah. They're close to Hezbollah.
I don't know him specifically. I imagined it was something like that, but I tried to give like my smartest general answer. Politicians, you don't just trust them. You observe and you check for results.
So the way that it works in Lebanon is like kind of works like the opposite of that in Iraq as well. But it's basically the president, the prime minister, and the speaker of the parliament, they all have to be from specific religious groups, right? So the president has to be like Christian in Lebanon, like you can't have a non-Christian president, right? The head of the parliament has to be Shia. Am I getting this right? Yes, Shia, and the prime minister needs to be Sunni. So
That is an odd way to split power. Like, I get it, but like you explain that to an American, they're gonna be like, "Wow." So
Yes.
who is the atheist? Who gets to be
No
like
atheist.
no, what about the administrator of waste management? Like, wouldn't they all
Oh,
be religious and insult the atheist? Gang up on them?
I don't know. But
They probably
did you know?
excel and become the most important job just to, to outshine.
But did you know that the president in Lebanon has to be a Christian?
I had no,
You know
this
that?
is wild to me. This is the first time hearing about this.
Yeah, this is what they came up with to end the civil war in Lebanon.
Yeah, Texas says splitting it by religion is wild. Like to Americans, that's like, whoa. But I guess in the Middle East, normally you just have to be like all Sunni or all Shia in a lot of these countries.
Yeah, so the head of the parliament is Nabi Berri, which is very, very close to Hezbollah. Which, because I mean they have to be, he's the head of the Shia part of the government, right? And the Shia part of the government has been completely infiltrated by Hezbollah. So that's why we don't trust, well, we don't trust anybody, but that's why that part of the Lebanese government is still considered the enemy. So basically we got 2 out of 3. We got the presidency, we got the prime minister the prime minister office, but we're missing the parliament. The head of the parliament is against us and pro Hezbollah.
I got a super short question on this. Earlier, we were speaking about the Iraqis trying to get their Shia brought out. Now, are there parts of Shia that are against what the IRGC is doing, their type of government? And if you could get one of those Shia that goes against the IRGC, would it make it easier to pull the rot out or get whoever is in charge to more side with like, hey, I'm Shia, but I'm not with the rot? Because this brings me to the same problem that Iraq had, and having a strong relationship with Lebanon might help them get that rot out like they did over there. So yeah, if there is a Shia segment that hates what the IRGC is doing, let them get some power.
There definitely is, and it's not as big as Hezbollah. And many Shia, there are some Shias who don't like Hezbollah, but they're afraid what will happen if Hezbollah loses all their gun. They think that the Sunnis and the Christians will gang up on them and massacre them if Hezbollah goes away. So we need to basically get the confidence of more Shias in Lebanon that that's not going to happen. So there are some Shias that don't like Hezbollah, but they're like, this is the only protection we get against the Sunnis and the Christians.
They would have to be more secure in their safety in the government to let them like, I don't care, we get along fine.
Yeah, let's get rid of Hezbollah because we're done with war. Yeah. By the way, that's also because of a lot of years of Hezbollah propaganda that you might not like us, but without us, they're gonna come and rape your children or whatever, or something like that. I mean, to be fair, Hezbollah has a lot to work with because it was like a 15-year civil war in Lebanon that was a nightmare for everybody. So they work on that nightmare. All right. Selectivist with a super chat saying Trump about to MOU the shit out of the Islamic Republic. That's good. I'm surprised I almost got that right. That was pretty good. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Love that.
He about to, yeah.
Okay. And then Fleshy Interloper saying for Jew hater, win harder, it is going so well. Yes, Jew hater. I think he abandoned us. He left us. He got tired of winning so much, so he gave up. So yeah, Jew hate. That's a very
He's
good
out grazing.
point, yeah. So Fleshy Interloper, you're right. Jew hater. If this is what winning looks like, please keep winning. Please win more. Please keep winning 10 times as hard. If you keep winning like this, there will be nothing left out of you. If you keep winning with you and the Islamic Republic, if you keep winning like this for just a few more months, there will be nothing of you left. All right. Okay. Justin with a super chat saying, Jew hater, I've missed you, you little poop, you little shit, you little shit. Oh my god. Okay. Where have
That's a
you
good
been?
description.
Yeah. Did the boom boom stop long enough for you to come out your rat hole? How's that wind going? Okay, you guys are funny. That's great. Okay, and then we got another super chat by Push Up saying Harg within artillery. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. Range holding would be costly. Yes.
Yeah.
Harg, I mean, it's not impossible, but it is more difficult. But go on, Monkey has more in experience in this. Go on, Monkey.
Unless you hold everything within that artillery range as well, right? Like you could bomb everything that is within artillery range if you have a good assessment, ground penetrating radar, and satellite imagery, and you do all the analysis that you can so that you know where the artillery is. You would take it out before you took the island. That would be like that would be like the main goal, right? That would be part of your prerogative, part of your, part of your mission statement, condition, task, standards. You would want to take that out. Absolutely.
All right, let's go through rapid fire short answers to each super chat because we have to make sure we don't go over 3 hours. Yep, thank you. And then let's go, Michelle. Oh yes, thank you. Saying I'm worried about the Iranian people. I'm worried about the Iranian people. In the U.S., we kind of know if we live around where the government things are going on. Do the Iranian people know? Oh my God, you're so kind, Michelle. Saying, do the Iranian people know to stay away from areas where the IRGC is operating? Okay, so they know, but they're unfortunately a lot of them are forced to still go. So yes and no. Sometimes they know. And recently, I showed you that some students in southern Iran had to keep going to their exams, their final exams, even though they were right next to a base, military base, and their school was not canceling their exams. So some of them were writing goodbye letters and posting it online while they're going and doing their exams. So sometimes people can afford it. Sometimes, like Iranian people, a lot of them don't have enough mobility to be able to just go do stuff somewhere else, right? So it is difficult. But sometimes you know that you're next to a base. But the problem is sometimes there are civilian facilities that they keep stuff in them that they are not supposed to, and then the Iranian people find out that they have been living next to something that could be a target for a long time. But I so much appreciate that is such a nuanced understanding of what the concerns are and the fact that you care about that. Like, I really appreciate you guys. Like, I don't know how to express this, and I know I said rapid fire. But this is I just wanted to say I'm so grateful for your level of care.
Americans are very worried about making anything worse. That's our nightmare, is making it worse for the Iranian people.
You're not. You made it so much better. You have caused a devastating blow to the Islamic Republic, and honestly, United States and Israel have done something that nobody was able to do. Nobody has done for the past 47 years. So, the Islamic Republic has been weakened to a degree that we didn't imagine could be possible at this rate because of United States and Israel. So, and we appreciate that. Zipgun saying President Trump is a lame duck. He's worried about legacy, not midterms. What do you think, Monkey? Do you want to respond to this?
Well, lame duck usually means that he doesn't have Congress and Senate, right? Like he's in his second term, but he doesn't have the political power to get anything passed. So I wouldn't say he's a lame duck yet. We have to pass the midterms to know. I think that's what the term lame duck means. Like you're in your second term and you can't control anything. He's not like maybe that term is different. People use it differently. Like I could be wrong about that term, but as far as I know, lame duck means you can't get a lot accomplished because you don't have the Senate and the Congress.
Yep. Thank you. And then let me just rapid fire. Justin saying, I
Okay,
understand
so I'm
Iranian-
hearing that. I'm sorry. I'm hearing that
Oh,
it just means
okay.
that he can't be reelected. Well, that gives him more power because he doesn't have to worry about it. He could just do whatever he does.
That,
he
oh,
wants.
that's what Zipgun meant. He doesn't worry have to be. He doesn't have to worry about midterms because he doesn't have to be reelected.
I
Okay,
thought it
that's-
was a combination of that and not having the
Rep-
support. My bad.
No worries. Thank you for the correction. Justin is saying, I understand Iranians appreciate Trump reminding everybody how many have been executed and massacred yet, but I believe he's also setting the political precedent for upcoming operations. Remember Syria 2017? Yeah, you might be right, but at the end of the day, he's reminding everybody about the massacre. So both could be true at the same time, and I think that's what you're saying as well. And I mean, one way or another, we all grateful and we're appreciative. We appreciate that he's doing that. And thank you, Justin. Zipgun with the super chat saying the Lebanese are done with foreign fighters on its land. 100% true. 100% true. Your understanding is correct. And the real star is saying a weakened Hezbollah would push Syria shit in. Yes, unless we could replace a weakened Hezbollah with a strong Lebanese government. And the Americans and Israelis backing it. So that's good. But that is correct. That's a good thing to be mindful of. Amir just got us 5 memberships gifts. Thank you so much, Amir. Really appreciate the gifts for the people in the chat, always supporting us. Nima saying Jew hater is as significant as his picture. Go Birds. Okay, well, yes. I mean, he's pretty much. And go Birds. I don't know what we're supporting, but yay, that.
I think it's the team because the team changed.
Yes, sports. Yay, sports. Thank you. Zipgun with a super chat saying Khat is related to speed.
Okay, speed is like meth.
Oh, okay.
Well, usually
guys,
speed.
Let me. Let's be careful. By the way, YouTube, we're against people using these stuff. Bad drugs are bad. Okay, guys, do not use drugs. Okay, thank you. Do not use.
Do not graze.
Do not graze. What? Okay, push-ups with a super chat saying grounding hot takes up most of their water on
growing,
this, and it will cause famine. Oh, what did I say? Fucking hell, man!
You said grounding.
I don't know what did I. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm so tired. I can't read. It's all caps. I can't read it when it's all caps. That's my excuse. Growing, guys, it's all caps. Okay, sorry. Growing hot takes up most of their water. Famine. Okay, it will cause famine. Yes. Oh my God. Let's move past that. That was bad. I don't know. Okay, room temperature IQ. I think you're talking.
He's not talking about you. Here. That's someone else.
No,
that's who he's talking about. You're just tired.
That's what he's talking about. Sure. I'm just tired. English, my second language. That's my excuse. Damn it. Okay. Okay, hold on. Miss Hypnotic is saying hot that. Oh my God. The leaves act like mild methamphetamine. Okay, I don't know.
Methamphetamines. That's speed. That's Breaking Bad stuff. Don't do that. Don't explain
it. Don't explain it. YouTube might get upset with us. Yeah, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. Okay, cyber coaching saying Jew hater is taking pay to play way too literally. Yep. Okay, it is. I mean, he's gone. I wish he was here to see how much. I think he is here. So he's in the background, but I think he's giving up because he sees that every time he comes here, we humiliate him. Maybe he likes it. Maybe he likes being humiliated. That's a kink I've heard. Lame duck equals second. Okay, yeah, we got that. And monkey was right.
Yeah, I was right.
Correcting us. Yes, you were correct. So you were right. So the correction to the correction. End of the second term without the majority in both houses. Okay, so I learned something as well. I didn't know that. Yeah, guys, Monkey and you guys learning a lot about U.S. politics. So thank you for that. This is an exchange program. I give you the Iranian politics, you give me American politics. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. Monkey. Okay, wait. I'll see you guys in 1 hour in our discussion group. Guys, make sure you come to our discussion group over here. I'll put the link to our group discussion. We're gonna have a group call pretty soon in about 1 hour.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was putting my link. My bad.
What? No, hold on. We are link in the chat. link in the chat. You guys could come and join our group call. It's in the chat. And then also make sure, if you don't want to come talk to us in the group call, make sure that you subscribe to Liberty Politics, because it will be live over there as well. So let me put the link to that in the chat, to Liberty Politics, for people who are watching us in other places to come subscribe to Liberty Politics. And also, here's a link to Monkey's channel. Let me bring this up. Monkey's channel. Make sure you go subscribe to the Monkey. Support his channel. Make him to get him to 1,000 subscribers.
From 745, 8 away from 750. If you guys want to help me get to maybe 750, maybe 8 of you can join. Maybe 8 of you can click that link. We come in the afternoon between 9 and 10 and talk about that American stuff.
All right, guys, we're going to go and get ready for our group call in the discussion group. Again, once more, if you want to join us, the link is in the description. The link is in the QR code at the top right. The link is in the bio of Liberty Politics YouTube channel. And we'll either see you there or on the live stream in 1 hour on Liberty Politics. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainia, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payende Iran. Mwah.
Peace.